Welcome, everyone, to the Islanders USA Dies coverage of the New York Islanders against the Toronto Maple Leafs. I'm your host, TJ, and with me here, as always, is our NHL analyst and expert, the grumpy old man. They say there's no shame in his game because he is always the same.
That's me.
Grumpy, how are you doing this evening?
Wonderful. We're already in the first minute of the game because TJ was taking a nap.
I set the alarm clock for a wrong time. Today, the Islanders they're facing off against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Yesterday on the podcast and live stream during the game, we learned about the saddening news of Clark Gillies passing. And the Islanders did a nice little tribute to Clark Gillies, Jethro, before the game.
Yep. And I just, it's funny. I saw, they showed some of the players. You see Wayne Simmons. And you think about power forward, right? Wayne Simmons, a power forward. That wasn't even a term until Clark Gillies came into the league. And, okay, somebody said, well, gosh, he didn't have 500 goals, didn't have 700 assists. But, he had really good numbers. But what his presence enabled Trottier and Basse,
I see.
Yeah, I know his name, to play their game unencumbered, if you will. Just to let you know that Semyon Varlamov is in net today for the Islanders. Brock Nelson is going to draw a penalty right there. As soon as the Islanders touch up, he'll be going to the box.
He doesn't draw a penalty. He takes a penalty, grumpy old man.
He drew a penalty. He's having a penalty against him.
Okay. When you draw a penalty, that means a penalty is going in your team.
Don't worry about it. He's going to the box.
Okay.
I don't need English. I don't need English lessons from you. We've listened to you read comments, so we're not going to go there.
Well, Grumpy, what time are you? Because we want to make sure we're aligned.
Maybe if you're awake, we could have been even.
Well, Grumpy, maybe if we focus on what we're doing here today and we don't stay transfixed on the TV, we might be just fine. But if you're new here to the show, welcome to
let me know. Just let me know as soon as Nelson goes. You see a picture of Nelson sitting in the box.
Yeah, thanks. Nelson's in the box. Gotcha. We just seen that puck drop. But again, if you're new here to the show, we welcome you. We invite you, number one, to subscribe on YouTube, like on Facebook, and follow on Twitter. We invite you back. This is a twice-a-week Islanders podcast where, again, we go live every single Thursday and Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we cover any live game the Islanders play as long as it's not on a Thursday or a Sunday. So again, you got to make sure you subscribe on YouTube, like on Facebook, follow on Twitter. The only reason we don't go live on Thursdays and Sundays is because we have a second podcast called TJ and the Grumpy Old Man, where we talk all things sports and have a good time just shooting the shit. You could find that in the link in the description below, Grumpy. Also, as a featured channel on YouTube.
Excellent.
Absolutely, Grump. Well, we've got early action here, Grumpy Old Man. Maple Leafs on the power play. And I'll tell you, Islanders penalty kill has done well as of recent. I think they're top 10 in the NHL.
I don't know where they are. Can you tell me how much time is left in the first period?
I don't know how we're already unaligned, but 17 minutes and 28 seconds, Grump.
Okay, so you're okay.
Let
me know when you get to 20.
Oh, my God. Yeah, we're past 20 now. Yeah, we're at 20. How did you? Okay, I guess we weren't aligned then. Fair enough. But Varlamov, a little odd. Simone Varlamov, Grumpy Old Man, is starting in net for the Islanders. Sorokin didn't really have much of a tough evening against the Arizona Coyotes yesterday, and Varlamov's career numbers against Toronto are not good.
Right, and right now on the power play, Casey Zeke is playing with a broken stick, so it's in effect, it's a 5-on-3. Nice hustle by Casey, though, able to jump in front of that lane and kick it down the other end. Outstanding play by him. Also, Oliver Wahlstrom, healthy scratch tonight. As it wound up, he was not hurt last night. Coach's decision to not have him play in the third period. Kiefer Bellows taking his spot today.
Yeah, trust me, we're going to rip the shit out of Trotz on that one, I can promise you, because it is mind-numbingly dumb. It's just one of those things, Barry Trotz is a good coach, but he just makes horrible personnel decisions. So what do we see again tonight from Kiefer Bellows, right? Happy Kiefer Bellows is getting a chance. Again, he's playing his off wing. The son of a gun has never played right wing, didn't play right wing in college, juniors, the AHL, or the NHL, and now we're playing him 2 of the last 3 games on his off wing. I'm sorry, you're setting the kid up for failure when you're throwing him on his off wing the first time he's ever done that, essentially as a rookie in the NHL. That is just it's a moronic and mystifying move by Barry.
Yeah. Like I said, it's all part of his master plan.
Oh, and now Beauvillier takes a penalty. Back to the penalty kill for the Islanders. Not a good way to start today's game. You're talking about within the first 5 minutes of action, the Islanders have already racked up 2 penalties.
Let's say the first 4 minutes and 10 seconds of action.
Within the first 5, but fair enough, Grum. I tell you, this Barry is the decisions being made out here are mystifying by Barry Trotz. It's the issue I've always had with him, and right now he's operating at an all-time high of just mind-boggling decisions when it comes to lineups and the formation. So
now, I'm going to tell you what. They gave Beauvillier the penalty, but the Toronto player interfered with them. He did. I mean, if you're going to call something like that, let's call the interference too.
Well, we're already calling. If we're going to call the game really tight like this, there should be a lot of power plays going both ways. It shouldn't be like, oh, we're going to call 2 penalties on the Islanders within the first 5 minutes, and then the whistle is going to be cemented in our pockets, glued and stitched into our pockets for the rest of the period. That's not how that should be if we're going to call these ticky-tack bullshit calls.
I'll be interested to see how the Toronto power play looks. A member of Toronto who used to play for the New York Islanders is on it, number 91.
Who's that, Grumpy?
I think his name is John Tavares. You remember him?
Yeah, I'm familiar with the guy, John Tavares, I think.
But so far, we've done an outstanding job on the penalty kill.
And this is a game, too, where the Islanders are going to come out pumped up. I mean, you lose a legend like that, Hall of Famer, and I'm talking about a true Islander, through and through. You're going to be motivated for the game. And people, there's no excuse of, hey, you're tired, you're playing the second end to the back-and-back situation. It's not like that this game, and that game against Arizona was an easy game for the Islanders. There should be no tired legs. There should be no excuses tonight for them.
True. And I expect, honestly, I was predicting a Toronto victory. I'm predicting it. Well, I think the Islanders come out with something to prove today. That's all.
After the loss of Clark Gillies, I think I would be more shocked if the Islanders lose than anything else. I mean, like, this is, you look at when you have the passing and those items, like big events for the organization, team usually comes out motivated and then they play their hearts out. And that's what I expect today from them.
Yep. And Peter Mrazek, the backup, is in goal for Toronto today. It's his 5th game of the year after whatever surgery he had earlier this season.
Well, I guess we get lucky too. We don't face the red hot Jack Campbell in net. So, it's fortuitous for the Islanders who they're going to be facing off against.
Right now, the second power play unit for Toronto is out there. They're having good puck movement, but really nice pressure from the Islanders. No real chances, and that should just about do it.
The Islanders,
15 seconds left on the power play.
The Islanders have killed off 2 power plays early in today's game. Good way to start. Obviously, you don't want to be committing infractions left and right, but it's a good job by our defense and a good job. We made it really, really tough to cross over the blue line for the Toronto Maple Leafs and establish that zone pressure, I think.
And Beauvillier is out of the box.
For certain he is. So we've effectively killed both those power plays. Now, what are the keys to the game here for you today, Grump?
Don't let Toronto establish offensive zone presence, and don't get caught on in a transition game with them, because that's one thing they're really, really good at. I'm interested to see how we play offensively against Toronto. They've had their struggles defensively as of late, so I'll be interested to see what we do on that front as well.
And again, what we were mentioning earlier, just a little visual aid for those. Oliver Wahlstrom is healthy scratch, not out due to injury. And Kiefer Bellows is going to be playing again on his off wing on the right wing side. Zach Parise, who's played right wing more games this year than Kiefer Bellows has, more games in his career, will be supplanted into that left wing spot. And we're going to say, here you go, Kiefer. I know you didn't look very comfortable and you didn't look, confident out there in the ice on right wing 2 games ago, but we're going to go ahead and throw you back out of right wing again. I'm sorry. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
I think it's all part of Barry's plan to make sure that none of the young players play. At the end of the day, he doesn't want a young player in the lineup unless absolutely necessary. You'll see Kyle Palmieri come back, and that'll be that. You'll see Wahlstrom probably back, but you won't see Kiefer Bellows again.
Well, here, right, Kiefer Bellows will not play well. I'm just if you know if the past performance are any harbinger from what we're going to see today, Bellows is not going to excel on his off wing. His second time playing that his entire professional career. It's not going to happen.
Yeah,
Um,
that's not what he does. That's not his spot.
we'll get to some. Oh, Grumpy, what's going on there? You got some shaking on that screen. But we kind of, whoa, I was about to say, Grumpy, what's going on over there? Got a comment here from Kanye the Great. He said, I saw some speculation about Patrick King getting traded. Was interested, but then I remembered we have the superior Anders Lee.
Isn't that right, TJ?
Grumpy, you always mischaracterize that.
No.
You do.
It's exactly what you said.
Always mischaracterized. Jeremy Ford here says Clark once asked where is Jaw Moose. His response.
Clark was once asked where Moose Jaw Saskatchewan is. His response: 6 feet from the moose's rear end. Oh, we'll miss Clark. It's been a sad day, but I'm pumped for the game. Have a great show, guys. It's Saturday. That's how you read a comment. FYI.
Why don't you call it Boosie? And then,
I don't know why you feel you have to take the words and just put them in different orders and expect people to, I don't know, whatever you
okay. A lot of times the comments are good, and a lot of times they're not written in a clear sentence. All right,
that was very clear.
I know that was very clear. I just said a lot of times they're good. That was a good comment, but a lot of times you wonder, oh, why do you hem and haw? Sometimes it's my fault. Sometimes it's not. What can I say, Grumpy?
Can I just say right now, Kanye the Giants comment is in the running for comment of the day right now already. There it is.
Okay, second comment, first comment of the day. Okay, gotcha. Alexander saying, hey, how are you guys? Doing well, Alexander. Obviously saddened by the news still of Clark Gillies passing, but Islanders need to come away with 2 here. Need to beat the Toronto Maple Leafs at home,
without a doubt. I mean, this is one of those measuring stick games against one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference. And just let people know, Boston won again today. So as of right now, we're 16 points behind the final playoff spot.
Tony Cheese says, of all the sports, hockey certainly has the worst hairlines.
Yeah, could be because they're wearing those helmets all the time. I don't know.
Well, you got other sports that wear helmets on a consistent basis. Baseball wears hats every day. So, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
George P. saying, the Never Say Bailey podcast. If only that was true. But I tell you, it's tough. It's tough to get any type of momentum established when you're on a penalty kill for essentially 4 minutes and the first, less than 10. It'll be interesting how we come out of this TV timeout and how we're able to establish our game and playing style.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all it was. Good. Dave F., grumpy old man, says, I'm so aggravated that Wallstrom isn't in the lineup. So much so that I said something bad about Trotz and got banned on Twitter for 12 hours.
I'm not part of Twitter. I can't imagine what you said would get you banned. I mean, I can't even imagine.
Dave, you've got to go ahead and tell us what you said, and we'll be the bearer of should you have served a suspension or not. It's just comical.
I don't think you should ever get banned for saying something.
Yeah, it seriously is comical at this point. The lineups we see thrown out here every single night. It's laughable. I'm sorry. And like when you say, grumpy old man, oh, we need to establish draft picks. We need to be able to go ahead and build the cupboards back up. With Barry Trotz as a head coach, you can't do that.
He'll be gone by then. He'll be gone.
Move him out.
Yeah, by the time those guys are ready to play, he'll be gone.
I mean, Oliver Wallstrom plays extremely well. Oh, that's a cross check. That's Char got away with one. That was a two-handed cross check right across the ribs.
That one stung the as well.
For certain. I thought that was it was a missed call against Bavillier. Yeah, here goes. Charles going to the box.
Oh, was he? He's going to the box?
Well, he should.
Yeah, that was. Oh, look at him. He's come on, not me. I'm big.
Maybe he's pleading his case. Gotcha. I was about to say Chara should be. It was tipped and went out of play. But I mean, that was a two-handed cross check right to the chest, and I'm very interested. MSG is not showing us here the replay, so I have to assume it was somewhat egregious. Yeah, they happened to omit showing us the two-handed cross check. Funny how if it was committed against an Islander, they would have that shown immediately.
Or if it was a young guy committing it when we're trying to get out of the lineup, they would have showed it. You can't take those penalties. I'll tell you what, though. Toronto is really commanding the action right now. I know the power play had something to do with it, but still, they're showing why they're a better team than we are. We're going to struggle. I mean, against teams like Toronto, Rangers, Carolina, Florida, Tampa, they're going to be a struggle for us because of their team speed. It's an issue.
I don't disagree, Grump. And that's why we talked about these barometer games, the measuring stick games. Tonight's one of them.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, we took care of a bad Arizona team. I expect that to happen. I'm just this entire sequence, and I'm glad we have the podcast after tonight's game. It leaves me with more questions than answers. Your best goalie is Sorokin. You decide to piss Sorokin's ability against the Arizona Coyotes, a team to where there were no chances or real tests that Sorokin had to face off against. And now you're playing your inferior netminder of Varlamov against a better offensive, more high-powered offensive team in the Toronto Maple Leafs. I'm sorry, it just doesn't make sense to me. And now you got a situation where you're healthy scratching Oliver Wahlstrom, didn't like his performance. We opined, hey, was he hurt? That's why he's not out there in the third period. No, coach's decision, just didn't want him out there.
See, the thing that drives me crazy about that is the only guys he ever benches are the young guys. He never benches a veteran for poor play, ever. If he benched veterans, I have zero problem with it. The fact that he never does, though, see, that's what drives me insane, is that it's like he scapegoats the young guys. You make a mistake, you're benched. Veterans, and name anybody you want. I'm not going to mention any names. We all know who they are. They can have 5-6 weeks of doing nothing. They never see the bench. They get promoted to the first line. I mean, I'm sorry. It's just not good enough. It's just not good enough coaching in my book.
Brian,
you should be fair. You should be fair.
Brian B says here, Wahlstrom healthy scratch. Barry should be relieved of his duties immediately. So when people say like, hey, we need to retool, or hey, we need to establish draft picks, it's quite obvious that Barry will never play young draft picks. Could be the first overall pick. We could miss the playoffs this year, win the draft.
Holy shit. Matt Martin buries John Tavares. Buries him.
Oh, there it is, Grumpy man. Good hit. I like it. Now get the fans excited. Yeah. Okay. Are we going to be on the penalty? That looked like it could have been a reach in and a trip on. Okay, fair enough. No call. I'm just saying they've been calling really ticky tack calls so far.
Yeah, he was the Maple Leaf was ahead of the play.
But I'll be honest, Grump. I lost my train of thought. But about
Barry Trotz,
I'm saying if we won the number 1 overall pick, we won the draft lottery. We would. I seriously think Trotz would not play the number 1 overall pick for probably 2 or 3 years, and he'd be a bottom 6 guy. Nice opportunity by Lee. Look at the stick handling, but he hits it off the post too, Grump. Good opportunity for Anders Lee.
Without a doubt. Here's the thing. By the time the draft picks are ready to play in 2-3 years, Barry Trotz will be gone, because Lou Lamoriello will be gone by then, and so Barry Trotz. I don't foresee Trotz being here another 3 years, because by then all the older players are going to be gone off the roster. Why? Because they're all going to be in their mid-30s. So that'll be the end of that. So they're going to have to retool or rebuild, or any words you want to use, and you have to do it with younger players. Those are just facts because of the age of the majority of the players on our team. Oh, look at Kiefer Bellows, not afraid to mix it up a little bit with Dahlstrom. Must be Wahlstrom's, cousin with a D.
His evil doppelganger. It wasn't as bad as a hit as I thought it was on Tavares. Clean hit too by Martin.
It looked good.
Jeff S says Bellows in, Wahlstrom out. Sarnak on the first line. How about Bellows and or Wahlstrom and or Beauvillier getting a chance to play with Barzal? Bailey should sit. Even Parise could use a rest. Yeah, Parise, he is what he is. He's not a guy that's going to ever produce for you. He puts forward effort. Oh, terrific.
Okay.
Bottom 6 guy.
It's funny you mentioned that. I heard something on a show yesterday. It says, you know what? People appreciate and they overrate people just because they hustle. It has nothing to do with talent or what they produce. But, everyone likes somebody who hustles. But that doesn't mean they're a good player just because you hustle. And that's where Zach Parise is in his career right now. Think about the amount of ice time he's gotten this year and the total lack of production. He plays on the freaking power play.
He plays on the power play. He plays over 14 and 30 minutes a night, and he's got 1 goal on the season. 33 games played, plays on the power play every freaking game, 1 goal. 1 goal. I'm sorry, it's not good enough. Rosa Didio says here, Toronto is going to win. Oh, I hope not, Rosa.
Hope not, Rosa.
Want you to sigh says here, well, Grump was right. Wallstrom out, Bellows in.
There you go. But don't worry, Bellows will be out the next game. Wallstrom will be back in.
Bellows will play so poorly on the right wing because it's not his natural position, and maybe honestly, Palmieri will be back by then. I'll be interested to see.
There's no doubt in my mind when Palmieri's healthy enough, he'll be back in the lineup. No doubt in my mind. Then who are you going to sit? If Jarnac continues to play like he's been playing, it's not going to be him. It'll be Wallstrom. The Islanders showing some physicality today. There's Scott Mayfield. Kerfoot is, I don't know, they're doing some type of dance there.
I'm just telling you, the Islanders have to be physical. That's one of the biggest portions of their game. When they're not physical enough and against teams, sometimes they struggle. Against the really, really talented teams, they have to be overly physical to try to take them off the game.
Against skilled teams who are more finesse game, you have to be physical with them.
I agree with that point sentiment 110%. But yeah, I'm just saying we play the Flyers again on Tuesday and the Kings on Thursday. We'll be interested to see what happens regarding injury situation. But this, I mean, besides the chance and the opportunity Anders Lee created, it was a good move by him. We haven't had many chances. We've got about 7 minutes remaining here in the first period for the Islanders, Grump.
Yeah. I just, you mentioned the Flyers again. They got obliterated by Buffalo today, 6-3.
They're on a 10-game losing streak.
I don't know how Meow keeps his job. I don't know how he keeps his job.
Look at that. They draw.
There you go. That's a penalty.
Draws a penalty. Looky there, Grumpy.
I don't know if he drew it or the guy just got out of position and wrapped his arms around him. Sorry, Spezza.
Jason Spezza is still out there on the ice. But the Islanders are going to power play.
He was part of the Yashin trade with Zdeno Chara. They're both still in the league.
Absolutely. Jeff S. here says, even if Trotz does not like the defensive game of Wallstrom, there are other ways to discipline and teach Wallstrom besides scratching the player with the best shot on the team. Think about this. Think about how little he thinks of Wallstrom. He shot him 9th in shootout 2 days ago.
Okay, here's my thing. Wallstrom is a top 6 player. Why are you playing him in a bottom 6 role? I mean, that's not his skill set. That's not what he is.
Oh, here comes a breakaway for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And look at that. A weaky 5-hole goal against Varlamov. The Islanders give up a shorty to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Islanders down 1-0. Mitch Marner with the goal.
That's a guy we could have signed to an offer sheet a couple of years ago. Didn't do it.
Let's not even talk about that. Here's the thing. We lose, or actually, oh my God, we win.
Was that Bailey?
Oh,
was that Bailey who turned it over?
I think it's Barzal, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know. Who was it? I don't know who it was.
I'm sure we're going to see the replay about 1 million times.
It just fell off of Marner's stick and went in the net.
That's the fifth shorty the Islanders have allowed this season.
Unfortunately for Bellows, he gets a little bit of power play time and a goal against. So I don't know who it was on that power play.
We'll have to see who that turnover is on. But man, oh man, what a bad start! What a bad start to the Islanders' night. Honestly, that's one that Varlamov would like to come up with. I wouldn't call it a weekie. That's one he wants back if you ask him in a post-game interview. But Varley's at least good to give up 1 weak-ass goal, if not 2 a game. And you're playing him against a team that has a lot of offensive ability and talent. It's mind-numbing, dude. Barry Trotz, I'm sorry. I'm getting close to a point of with Trotz sometimes.
No, okay, these things happen. Maybe it was Barzal who turned it over. Man, that's an icing call. Okay, they didn't call it. Okay.
Yeah, no icing on that one, Grump. Corey K says, hi, what's up, Corey? Michael T says here, hey, TJ Grump, good to see you guys on a somber Saturday night. Yeah,
without a doubt. I'll tell you what, and we'll talk about it during intermission, touching tribute to Clark Gillies. And, he said how, you got to live every moment to the fullest. That's when he was younger. And that's how he planned on living his life. And he certainly did from everything that you hear about him. But, they did the moment of silence. And, usually you can hear some people making noise or something going on. You could hear a pin drop in the arena tonight when they said for a moment of silence. You heard nothing. And that's a testament to the Islander fans, honestly.
Yes. And speaking
we don't say it enough. Islander fans they're just they're a different breed, truly special, win, lose, or draw. I mean, I think they're the best, some of the, maybe the best hockey fans in the world. I just believe that.
And it's not a cheap pop. I wanted to mention it,
No.
Grump. Did you see Jean-Gabriel Pageau whiff on a wide open one-time attempt right in the slot? He had open space and he whiffed on a one-time attempt. And again, would have been able to really do some possible damage. If that's put in the right spot, you're looking at a goal just because of how much space he had in the area where he was unable to connect on that one-time attempt. And the Islanders power play ends.
Yeah, nice movement by Clutterbuck and Cizikas getting into the zone here, actually driving it behind the end line. And Scott Mayfield, hey, I scored last night. Keep shooting. There you go, Scott. Don't be afraid.
Yes, and I tell you, it's. I mean, there's only 4 minutes left in this period. You want to talk about a period that's gone by at a quick and accelerated rate? My God, this is about as worst of a start as the Islanders could have wished for.
I mean, Mayfield got away with pinching up. Toronto's not a team. They're not Arizona. I don't think you can afford to pinch up on them if you're a defenseman. Certainly not at this point in the game.
Oh, it's early yet. It's not.
But you don't want to go down 2-0.
Yeah, I was about to say it's not our style. Number 2. That's what I said. It's early yet to be pinching, but it's not our style. Number 2. I'm just sorry. What a bad start to the game. This is the team. Think about it. Just like, what did we mention when the game first started? This is a game where the team should be flying because of the death of a team legend. The team should have 100% focus for what's going on out there. We have not looked very focused. We haven't looked very sharp. I don't think we've looked very in tune so far.
Well, I don't. Toronto doesn't seem to care.
They're not going to give us the game.
They're not cooperating either.
Is John Tavares going to play easy for us because Clark Gillies died?
No.
Oh, okay. I mean, we're playing right now like they need to give us something. That was a hell of a move. And another Char got away with another cross.
Yeah, Char got away with another cross check.
I really don't get it, Chara. He's so freaking slow and doesn't move his feet. All he does is just two-hand people to the back, the small of the back. I'm so happy he doesn't get called for every cross check because
my gosh, Simmons with a hellacious check on Noah Dobson.
I don't think it was that big of a hit, but it was a hit nonetheless.
Okay. In the olden days, that's not a big hit, but in today's NHL, that's a steamroller job. When you rattle the boards, we don't see those hits anymore.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll tell you what, though, you have if you're a Toronto fan, you really have to be pleased with how they're playing defense, how they're leaving how their zone exits are, and their zone entries. They're playing, like I said, they're much improved. And let's give credit to Sheldon Keefe. I don't think he's the greatest coach in the world, but he certainly helped rectify some of the issues they had in their game in the past.
Yeah, and to talk about this game, right? You score a goal early, you take the energy and the enthusiasm out of this game in this moment for Islander fans. So, this is you talk about what Toronto need to do. They need to score first early to go ahead and take a little bit of the crowd out of the action. I mean, this I'm sure is a sold out game. Even though they have empty seats, I'm sure the tickets sold were close to a sellout for the Islanders this evening.
You know what I would have liked to have seen today from the Islanders organization? Putting the old Islander jerseys out there like the originals. That's what I'd like to see tonight. I mean, they did put the number 9 on the jersey. I hate these uniforms, by the way. But, I would like to see, they put the number 9 on there, which will be there for the rest of the year. But I would have liked to see them wear the old original Islander unis today. I thought that would have been very touching tribute.
To pay homage.
Score! Zach Parise!
Holy shit, look at that. I'll be honest.
Puck.
Parise with a goal, scoring with less than a minute remaining in the first period. Peter Mrazek, it goes over the shoulder. I'll be honest.
He sucks. He's terrible.
Parise or
no, Mrazek.
Oh man, this is. Let's watch the replay here too, Grump. A good job. It's Mayfield with another assist. Look at that! Holy hell! Who the hell is the defenseman? Mishandled is right
by number 37.
Yep. Look at that. We had the same fortuitous bounce we had where it was against Yanis Moser yesterday against the Arizona Coyotes, and we were able to bounce it past them, and it couldn't handle it. The defense couldn't handle it. The deep passes on the bouncing pucks have really benefited the Islanders twice the last 2 games.
Yeah, well, that's the way we have to score goals, though. I mean, we have to get a little bit of puck luck. I mean, if you're Toronto, it's like, okay, we've dominated this period, and it's tied.
Good effort by Zach Parise. right? Second goal of the season. Still
And
production.
a breakaway. Cal Clutterbuck.
Oh, gosh. Cal Clutterbuck. Let's see. Oh, you're a little ahead of me there, Grump. But that's fine. You're a few seconds ahead of me. But I'll tell you, would I like to see a better shot on that, Cal?
Mrazek came out and challenged him. At that point in time, it's like, let's skate. Let's make him move his feet.
I was going to say, look how far the net he is. Put a deke on, put a move on. Just look at this. Jesus Christ. You have time. Oh, well, I don't know. He stopped skating. Oh, God. And he slips and falls. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. It makes that look even worse. My goodness.
To me, the defenseman.
It wasn't even a hard shot. It was a well-placed shot, though.
But here's the thing. The defenseman just needs to take a penalty there. Take a holding penalty. You can't let him get that shot off.
Timothy Lindgren.
Yeah. You got to take a penalty there. You don't let him get that shot off.
Tony Cheese saying, wait, I tweeted you the game start time. I know, Tony Cheese. I forgot that I wasn't on Eastern Standard Time.
You want to know how I called TJ at 6:30? I called him at 7:10. I called him at 7 o'clock. Then I called his wife. And I'm like, is he sleeping? And she's like, yep. I'm like, well, tell him the game starts in 3 minutes.
Oh, man. I set an alarm, but just for the wrong time. So
the phone right next to your head ringing wasn't enough to wake you up 3 times. That wasn't enough.
Keep your phone on buzz. I don't put it on volume like you, Boomer.
Okay. Oh my God!
Leave Varlamov. Yank his ass out of the game. I'm sick of. Get his ass out of here. Pack his damn suitcase and move him if you can. Jesus Christ! This is why you don't play Varlamov unless an absolute dire need, like Sorokin's torn his leg in half. I'm sorry. That is an awful goal to give up.
Are they going to go to Toronto to see if it was in the net before double zeros was up? It's 7.
It certainly was.
5. Whoa.
It certainly was. Jesus freaking Christ, dude. He sucks. He has been miserable this season. Absolutely atrocious.
Andy Green.
Get him out. You know what you do? Pull his ass right now. Yank him out of the game. I'm sorry. Gotta go.
Andy Green got undressed on that play.
He got undressed, but I expect my goalie to save an easy flubby shot. I wonder if Trotz is going to have the same short leash that he had with young players.
Don't challenge it. Okay. All right. I'm glad he's not challenged.
Okay. He's not going to challenge. But I wonder if Barry Trotz has the same short leash he has with young players that he's going to have with Varlamov tonight. He looks awful. That is atrocious, man. We tie the game up, and with less than a second left, we give up a goal. Varlamov lets in another freaking soft-ass weak goal again. Yeah, and you know what to blame for this? Barry Trotz.
Those are 2 weakies let in by Varlamov today.
You played your best goalie against Arizona the night before when there was no freaking threat of them scoring, and he only faced less than 20 shots on net, and you decide to play your inferior goalie in Varlamov tonight against the high-powered Toronto offense, and he lets in 2 weak-ass 5-hole goals. Maybe the one slips between his arms, but I'm sorry, that is awful.
I hate to say this, but if Sorokin's in net tonight, it's 1-0 Islanders after 1.
I'm sorry. These are both weak ass goals. I'm talking about he's looked miserable this season. I don't know if he's got any trade value. He's looked that bad this year.
I don't think he's looked that bad.
Really?
Those are two.
He's coming off the game against the Flyers when he let in 2 weak ass goals when we won by 3. He came up with a few big saves, but it led 2 weak goals. And here he is tonight again, letting in really weak goals. If you're letting in weak goals, I don't know what type of value you have.
Yeah, but he's had games where he's been good, though. He's had games where he's been good. I'm telling you, he's a solid goalie, and if we could move him and get some value, I'm all for it. But he is what he is. He is what he is.
We're going to get to some comments here because we're in the first intermission, guys. Islanders are down 2-1. Nick D says, TJ Grump, how are you guys doing this late afternoon? What a fantastic tribute. Brought a tear to my eye. I have to be honest. Let's have a good game and a better show. Yeah, absolutely, Nick D. Thanks. It was a touching tribute for certain. And then Tony Chi saying, TJ is grumpy from his nap. I'm just happy. I'm happy Grumpy called my wife and he knew I wasn't going to pick up. Otherwise, we may not have had the podcast on time today. Michael T said, why am I watching an Islanders feed, but Toronto announcers? What the hell is going on? I don't know. That's odd. Well, here you go. You got us, Michael T. So you don't have to worry about what you listen to as Toronto announcers. Want you to decide says Varlamov is in. Makes no sense.
It's all part of it. I think At the end of the day, Barry would love Varlamov to reestablish himself as the number one guy. That's what I think he'd love to have. He wants to play veterans, he doesn't want any risk. But that's why when you have no risk, you have no reward either.
Varlamov is freaking hemorrhaging goals left and right with weak ass opportunities. I'm sorry, he has looked terrible. I'm flabbergasted the fact that we're continuing to roll him out against good opportunities. Sorokin played fantastic against the Flyers the first game on Monday. We had a back-to-back situation. Sorokin should have played on Tuesday. Then you had until your next game wasn't until Thursday. Then you could have played Varlamov against a weak-ass Arizona Coyotes team, one of the worst teams in the NHL, and you could have played Sorokin tonight. I didn't get how we utilized our goaltenders there. It made very little sense to me. And right now, because we've, number one, had poor goalie play, we're down 2-1.
Unless Barry's just figuring, with whatever, 48 games and 96 days, that he's just going to go every other day with the goalie.
Yep, they want to play a 50-50 split, and Sorokin is so freaking good. He's a top 10, no argument about it, goalie in the NHL, and we're going to play him 50-50. Makes no damn sense. None at all. And it's obvious that Varlamov, whatever he performed last year, right, he was racking up wins and a lot of shutouts against the miserable Sabres, the miserable Devils. Yeah, I know he was getting a whole bunch of stuffing stat stuffers in there against lesser cellar dweller teams. But guess what? That Varlamov from last year isn't there this year. Sometimes goalies have good years and bad years. This has not been a good year for Varlamov.
You seem fired up. You seem fired up today.
I'm fired up, Grumpy, and I need you to get. I need to see you having a little bit of that too, Grump. I'm just sick and tired of it.
You can't.
Right?
You can't.
We should be up 1-0 or even a 1-1 tie. But that weak ass goal at the end of the first period encapsulates all the issues I have with Barry Trotz. That one right there. And what we've done with Kiefer Bellows and how we mismanage Oliver Wahlstrom. Every single issue compounds and just builds and builds and builds and builds. And it leads me to the point here today where we're going to probably play an okay game against the Toronto Maple Leafs, but because of hideous freaking player personnel decisions, we're going to lose because Barry Trotz does not know how to manage his freaking roster. And that shit drives me nuts.
Okay. You remember I was fired up a week and a half ago. Why? Because I was able to see what was coming. Now I've just accepted that's just the way it's going to be because I saw it coming. I mentioned it to you. And remember how fired up I was last week? Because I'm Grumpstradamus. I see the future. I saw what was happening. This is, like I said, this is it for Kiefer Bellows today. This will be it for him. Wallstrom will come back in, and Jarnac will stay in the lineup as long as he continues to play extremely well. Otherwise, he'll put Wallstrom back in.
I was about to say that goal that Parise just scored, I think, has cemented himself in the lineup for the next 40 games. Maybe you're looking at a 5 or 10 goal pace for him at best this year while playing on the power play. Nuts.
Actually, that's probably going to get him a 4-year extension.
Oh, man. I'll tell you, I'm trying to see if I could find Varlamov's hideous goal against. Jesus, I'll tell you, he's just been awful. I'm talking about awful as of recent. So I'm going to try to see if I can pull that for people who are just listening, but we're going to zoom through some comments. Yeah. George Key says, great to see Trotz being a little tough or being a tough guy with the kids, but kisses the ass of underperforming veterans.
And I've been saying that for 2 years. This is not news to me. So, but people are now they're just starting to see it. See, we are the curve. If you've been listening to this show long enough, you know these were the things I was railing against 2 years ago because it's so obvious how he treats certain players over others. He used to do it to Barzal, the best player on the team. He punished him.
How many times he benched Matt Barzal? Think about that.
When he lets Anders Lee, Brock Nelson, Josh Bailey, name anyone, just underperform week and week, month after month, never a repercussion for them. But let Matt Barzal take a penalty, an offensive zone penalty in the last 2 minutes of a game, and he gets read the riot act and benched. Okay, that's the way to treat your best players. Great job, Barry.
Yeah, and I'll tell you,
I'm not surprised.
the player personnel decision has been woeful. You talk about him as a coach, what he's able to instill, the system, even though there isn't there offensively. I would say that on that portion of the game, he's top 5, arguably top 10. When it comes to player personnel, I think he's bottom of the NHL when it comes to how to utilize the players on this roster. I would say he's maybe between 20 and 32. He's that freaking woeful in that category. And I'm just like, that is, I feel like, one of the easiest things for coaches to be successful, and it's the thing he struggles the most with.
Yeah.
So, but moving right along here, Grump. Michael T says, and why is Varlamov net minding for the love of God? Yeah, for the love of it. Yep. Yeah, you're right. Andrew L says here, being 18 years old and not being able to watch Gillies work his magic, his passing still has an impact on me and shows the impact he has on the Islanders organization and hockey for generations.
Yeah, Andrew, I can't impress upon you enough how special he was back in the day. And, I was lucky enough to see him from when he was a rookie all the way till the tail end of his career. I think 85, 86 was the last year for him before he moved to Buffalo for a couple of years after Arbor left. And he was a special player. To me, the biggest, when we won the Cup the first year, it was that Boston series that really helped push us over the top, where we weren't going to let Boston bully us. People, and Andrew certainly doesn't know, the game was so much different back then. You had teams where their game was predicated on goon-style hockey, Boston and Philadelphia, just fighting, agitating, doing anything they could. And you had guys like Gillies. I remember Gillies going after O'Reilly, him and O'Reilly going at it multiple times, or Nystrom, or Gary Howitt, or Gordy Lane, all these guys standing up to those bully teams. And, that's kind of what elevated us over the top. It was a truly special generation. I'm sorry you were not alive to see it, because it was fantastic hockey. Different game than it is today, without doubt.
Tony Cheese saying, also, Grumpy's new exit line should be love and laughter to everyone who's listening and even those who don't, except for Josh Bailey.
That's not true.
I was about to say, we'll just keep it the way it is. No, we got nothing against Josh Bailey. We like Josh Bailey. I'm sure as a person, he's a fantastic guy. As a player, I don't think much of him.
I guarantee you, Josh Bailey's probably the nicest guy you'd ever want to meet. Guaranteed. But, for this show, he plays his role by failing on the ice every night.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Cheese brought this up to us. Mike Milbury is back now. He's speaking about NBC Sports. His contract has officially ended. He's no longer being paid. If anybody has any sort of contact with Mike Milbury, an old cell phone number, a home phone number, a mailing address, a P.O. box, an email address, please let us know how to contact Mike Milbury. We want to get him on this show. I've got no idea how to contact him. He's one of those guys who doesn't have any type of social media presence. Probably, honestly, a good thing, but for his portion. But if we're able to find even a sniff of like, hey, he's somewhere in,
he's in Massachusetts somewhere.
Exactly. If someone can give even like a zip code, like, hey, it's our zip code, just start sending out mass letters. Let us know. We want to be able to find a way to get in touch with Mike Milbury. That's a guy we've always wanted to have on the show. And if he's back now speaking in a public atmosphere, we want to do anything we can to get him there. That being said, moving right along through the comments, Grump. Brian P says, what surprise Wallstrom benched Trotz is so predictable. And he's such a dick. Yep. Power to it, Brian. Alexander says, again, Trotz is the same old garbage. Again, so sick of his garbage.
Like I said, I feel that we have done our part to enlighten the people to what he's been all about. And now it's gained traction, and people see it now. Oh, geez, really? Because if you just kind of watch the game and
I'm a fan. I watch on Saturdays and Sundays. I can't do it when I'm working. I got kids to handle. I got this. I just can kind of watch maybe on a Saturday evening. You don't see it very often.
Or you're watching the game, but it's like in the background. You're not totally focused. I feel that we've helped people in that regard by just letting them know certain things we see.
And then Master Lego Yoda says, why is Wallstrom scratched? I know.
Because he's not Josh Bailey.
Michael T says, Varlamov and net stupid. Ugh. Yep. George P saying, watch Bailey tonight. It's a better team, so he'll return to doing nothing.
He's been invisible in the first period. Invisible.
Michael T saying, fire Barry. I don't ever try to say anything like that because I don't want to be irrational for the cast of work he's had. He's a very, very good coach. I think he's overrated in certain areas because the player personnel decisions are woeful. And I wish that more members of the Islanders media cartel, and that's everyone that writes, covers the Islanders, any capacity, would for once cover
Call them out.
cover
Call
this,
them out.
not even call them out, cover this issue, cover this item. It's because and I know the fans feel the same way, we have been talking about this being an issue, and it just continues to compound and grow and grow and grow. And here we are at a point to where myself and Grumpy and nobody else of the people who write or cover on a national stage of the Islanders ever talk about this being an issue. It's just us two, and we feel like, hey, and there are other tiny little sections, but I'm like, this should, I mean, Andrew Gross should be seeing stuff like this. I know Art Staple doesn't cover the Islanders anymore, but people who cover the Islanders for a living should be like, yeah, let me ask you, Barry. I can't help but to think, Sorokin's been playing real well this year. Why, do you think he could have played better than Varlamov against Toronto? Varlamov's career save percentage against Toronto is less. It's an 8.99, and his goals against average is over a 3.5 against Toronto for his career. He does not historically play well against Toronto, and you still roll out a struggling goalie against Toronto when he doesn't historically play well against them. I'm sorry, it just makes no freaking sense. We got to save it for the podcast.
I was going to say that.
Michael T said, I'm just so pissed off at it. I've got to save it for the podcast. Michael T says, I want to see Chara break Pajama Boy in half. Well, how many players he's checking on a Toronto Maple Leafs? It's only a matter of time before Tavares is in there, and he's going to probably get a two-hander in on Tavares that won't be called. Doug R says, it was nice to see a real coach in the video tribute.
Amen, brother. Al Arbor. You know what? You see him, and it warms my heart. What a great coach he was. He was spectacular as a coach.
Absolutely. Whoa, the Bengals win with no time left, Grumpy. Whoa, do you remember when I told you those terrible-ass Tennessee Titans didn't have anything on it? Do you remember when I told you Ryan Tannehill's garbage, washed, awful? Well, that's what I'm talking about, that Cincinnati Bengals, Grumpy.
I'm sure you were sleeping, but Ryan Tannehill did throw an interception the first pass of the game.
I was sleeping, but that's what I'm talking about. So by the way, if you're new to the channel, we have the second channel called TJ and the Grumpy Old Man. You could find that as a linked and featured channel on YouTube or in the link in the description below. We're going to go live during tomorrow evening's NFL matchup of the of the Buffalo Bills against the Kansas City Chiefs tomorrow at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you check that channel out and make sure you're subscribed. Andrew L says Tennessee just choked. Brett W says win it for number 9. Let's go Islanders. I hope, again, even after a woeful first period, we're able to go ahead and get things back on track and win this one for Jethro for certain.
Yes.
Tony Cheese saying here, you think he's putting young guys on their offside just to get them experience? The kid can't learn unless they put him in these situations. Yeah, it's a good point. But the way I look at it is this. Bellows is fighting for a spot. He by no means has anything cemented in and guaranteed regarding his spot. And when you're putting him in a situation where he's not going to succeed, Palmieri will be back in the next few days. I really do believe that. Maybe if not this week, he'll definitely be back after the All-Star break. And that's only 4 games away.
Yeah, you put a guy who's an experienced player, you let them play on their offside. So you give the younger player who hasn't done it where he's more comfortable. Why? Not just for the younger player. It's a team thing too, because he's going to perform better since he's a younger player. He has not experienced as many things. He's going to perform better where he's more comfortable, period. That's the reason why you do it.
Absolutely. And then, yep, another fire trots there. Michael T saying TJ has trouble reading the comments, but I'll give him credit for deciphering them when there's lots of typos and bad grammar. Thank you. I do appreciate it. I do botch up. I do misread a lot of very easily legible comments, but I do appreciate it, Michael T. Angelo M saying win for number 9 for certain. Vegan Donut 69. Ooh, hold on. What do you think about that, Grumpy? How does a vegan donut look?
Shitty.
I'll be honest with you. Ooh,
I like my donuts with extra special lard and fat or whatever they cook them with. Whatever makes them taste good. I don't want to be eating no grass donuts.
No, it just means that there's no flour in it, right? That's a vegan.
Flour? Who that? Oh, well, okay, whatever.
I don't know. He said
they do not have a playoff.
Leafs have a spot in the playoffs no matter what.
Well, you got to still win games.
No, he's just saying every year they always make it but never do anything. Alexander says, never take life for granted. You never know when it could be your last day, guys. Just say, love you guys, Grumpy and TJ. And you guys are awesome. Thank you. Love you guys too.
I'll tell you what, I really appreciate Alexander. I just want to say that because he's always so positive. I almost feel like I know him and his family. So thanks, Alexander.
Absolutely. Again, this community here of the Islanders Never Say Die group is always fantastic. I mean, the people, the relationships we have, everybody, I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. Brett W says here, Wallstrom benched, Bellows benched, Parise plays no matter what. Thomas B says, what's Bellows going to play? 8 minutes tonight? I say probably 10 minutes, you think, Grumpy?
I'll be interested. He didn't get much time in the first period. That much I do.
You're on the penalty kill for two of those situations for 4 minutes. And
he was on the number one power play unit. They gave up a goal, though. And even though he wasn't involved in that play, I'm sure somehow it's going to be his fault.
Michael T says Sorokin and Wallstrom not starting. Trotz really has issues. He's got to go for certain. Trotz has totally lost me. I'm sick of the nonsense benching youth who produces, but never the geezers that produce less.
I just think ever since Trotz came back, the young guys aren't doing anything. They seem non-existent. I'm just saying, when he was not coaching, their game improved and it made us a better team. As soon as Gary Trotz comes back,
Varlamov's still in net for the Islanders. I guess he could let in 2 weak-ass goals in the first period and have no retribution at all. I wonder if a player like Oliver Wallstrom were to make one bad turnover in the second period, if he would be afforded the same leash that Simon Varlamov is being extended at this moment.
I'll tell you what, number 47 just checked Chara, and Chara couldn't help but give him a little slash. It's like, dude, he hits him again, and another slash from Chara. There's back-to-back the same play. Man, he's got to watch himself.
He's lucky he has so much cachet from his performance and his ability to play earlier on in his career, because he commits infractions left and right now and just gets away with it because he can't skate, and he's Zdeno Chara, first ballot Hall of Famer.
Turnover by Dobson leads to a scoring
chance. I was about to say, not a good start for the Islanders earlier on. My God, look at the chances, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Look at this. A fast skating team is able to skate circles around the defense pairing of Zdeno Chara. Look at that.
Well, but see, that's, like I said, the teams that give the Islanders problems. Who was up there with him? That's terrible. And Chara, of course, is out of position. Oh, nice save by Varlamov on that one.
Okay.
Austin Matthews has to do better there, honestly.
Yep. Teams that give us trouble, Grumpy, you were saying.
Are teams that can skate and forecheck. That's our kryptonite.
And another thing I will say, Matt Martin has been hideous this year. Ross Johnson has returned back from suspension, and Ross Johnson has rode the pine for 2 games in a row. Again, another one of those things that's beyond frustrating. Yeah. Michael T saying, guys, I have the NHL package. I'm watching what should be the Islanders channel, but it's Sportsmet's feed from Toronto. I don't get it.
I don't either. But I'm not changing because I also have the center ice package. But I'm also able to watch. I'm watching the Islander
okay, Grumpy.
feed.
We got you. And yep, I'll tell you, this is not, I would say, Grumpy, it's early yet in the period. I would have expected a real big reaction from the Islanders to start this period. Wouldn't you have, after, you were outplayed and Parise scores an effort goal and you give up a goal in the last minute? I feel like we would have come out with some real jump this period. I haven't seen it yet.
Well, we did see a reaction. It was just a negative one. Now, just during that series of play, it was a nice takeaway by Pelech. Unfortunately, they iced the puck.
Nick D saying, the more I watch the Islanders, the more I can't stand Barry. Alexander saying, wow, Bengals just beat them. Yeah, Bengals to the Super Bowl, says Drew L. Jeremy Ford there saying, Grumpy, why did Gillies lose the C to Potvin?
He didn't lose the C. He didn't want to do it. He gave it up.
He gave it up?
Yep.
Okay. Gotcha. There it is, Grumpy. Thank you for the insight. And then I picked them. Gillies gave the C to Potvin. Yeah. Tony G saying Chara needs to rest for the rest of the season.
That's not happening. He's going to play every single game. He'll play 82 games this year. He'll never sit. But you have to admit he doesn't burn much energy out there.
Yeah. Drew L is saying, honestly, why did we start Varlamov? Barry should have started the 42-year-old Zamboni driver who works for him.
Well, with the way he's playing, I'd say that's for certain.
David D says, a disgrace of a goal. Yeah, what a bullshit goal by Varlamov. Freaking Varlamov. Ridiculous. Varlamov just gave up a shorthanded breakaway goal. Yeah. Varlamov always gives up at least 1 wiki a day. He's only given up 2 today, so that's usually the allotment. It ranges between 1 and 2, so very rarely will we get something that falls off the standard deviation. We'll give away 3 wikis.
Yeah, he should be good for the rest of the game now.
Yeah, he should look solid, and then we could see how fantastic he was when they'll say, oh, his numbers was he had 20 saves on 22 shot attempts. Simon Varlamov really had a bounce back after struggling a little early, but he really came back and played well. Good job, Varlamov. That's what we'll hear from the press. Eddie says, I can't understand why you'd play Sorokin against the weakest team in the NHL and then Varlamov the best ones. Is that not a penalty?
No, it looks like they just got tied up. And I'll give 23 credit. He did a nice job tying up a way bigger and stronger Anders Lee.
A good job on the fight there for certain, Grump.
Yeah. He had position on him, but he didn't quit.
Yeah, and that's trash.
That's where last year and 2 years ago, that's probably a goal scoring opportunity for the Islanders. That's the change in Toronto this year. They're showing a little bit more grit in their defensive zone.
And you look at the goal they gave up, it was all due to a defensive mistake by Toronto as well. Yep. So they still give away those defensive mistakes. Don't get me wrong. It's not like they're perfect on their own end.
That was a fluky bounce.
Down. Yeah,
those bouncing pucks. Those bouncing pucks are tough.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, dude, we have looked woeful to come out this second period. The Toronto Maple Leafs are flying fast. They're moving their feet and they're skating right past us, and they're creating plenty of opportunities. Yikes, yikes, and yikes.
Is it any wonder when we play teams like Toronto and Carolina in particular that we get destroyed?
You could say Florida, Toronto, the list goes on and on.
The teams that skate are just death to us.
Yeah.
They are focusing a lot of camera time on Kiefer Bellows today. I don't know why. Probably because we won't see him again. Yeah, that's a nice fight right there.
That's a good job by Dermott getting in there. It wasn't even interference. He just did a good job positioning his body.
He's done a really nice job today. Let's give that kid credit.
Yeah, for certain. Good for him. And then Brett W says he does. Why Trotz even started him tonight is beyond me. Different Mind said starting Varlamov against a good team and benching Wahlstrom. This is how we tank. Maybe we're tanking for a draft pick. Who knows?
We're not tanking. We're not tanking.
And then Eddie says, I'm through with Trotz. 100% he's got to go. Andrew L saying, so is Barzal going to get benched for that poor turnover on the power play?
No, his days of getting benched are over. It only what was it, 2-3 years that he was getting benched?
Yep.
But no more. He won't be benched again.
A nice job. We're throwing the body around. We said like, hey, what are the keys to trying to beat a more talented team? You have to be more physical than them. We're doing that, but still hasn't shown results.
Look at how good Toronto is at moving the puck. You see what I mean? That's what guys who have skill are capable of doing. They were able to make nice zone exits and zone entries. I mean, that's something that we struggle with, and why it's a talent thing. It really is.
Yeah, Eddie, Wahlstrom is healthy scratched, unfortunately. That's apparently why he didn't play in the third period. Angela N says, we are family for certain. We are here. Ooh, nice opportunity for the Islanders. I think that's our first real chance here this second period. And Angela N saying, no energy tonight. Yep, it's
how are you going to come out?
Holy shit, here's an opportunity coming the other way for the Toronto Maple Leafs. But a nice job on the recovery.
Matthew's not a great skater, but fantastic hustle by Adam Pelech.
For certain. Good job hustling back and preventing that from being a 3-on-1 opportunity. But they're still getting chances. I'll tell you. You know what it's like? It's like dropping a turkey leg into a pool full of piranhas when we've got our puck hand in our own zone against that top line for the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's like, holy shit. I hope we don't come out of here with every piece of meat devoured.
Okay, that looked offsides to me. I know they waved it off, but man, that looked offsides to me.
Did you see Andy Green start the jump there, preparing for a hit? Toronto's throwing the body around too tonight. Just look at the reaction that Green had right there. He preemptively jumped when nobody was near him, expecting a hit.
Like I said, those are the changes they've made this year. They have a little bit more grit, and I don't think it's necessarily the players, but maybe just the coaching style that they've been using. But you're seeing that difference in Toronto. How is Toronto getting beat every year? They get outworked and out physicaled. That's how they've been getting beat in recent years.
We have just looked in our own zone. We have been hemorrhaging chances. Our defensive structure, we look like we're we're a spaceship, grumpy old man. And in Star Wars, it's like you see everybody hits in hyperspeed, and they're all right there on you, shooting a whole bunch of blasters, and everybody was sleeping. They were taking a piss and shit. They were, playing card games. They were playing, what is that old game? Pinochle that Lou Lamoriello plays with all the vets on the team, and they're trying to rush the battle stations. They're like, holy shit, we're getting zapped, and that's what it looks like right now in our defensive zone. It's not looking good. The first 5 minutes of action have been completely dominated by the Toronto Maple Leafs.
This feels like it's been a really long 5 minutes.
For certain has.
Oh my God.
Chara is so
walk around Chara.
He literally had a chance to walk around, maybe do a moonwalk, Michael Jackson moonwalk to him too. He's just so slow. Yikes. Eddie said, Trotz, hit the mother effing road. You're done.
I'm going to tell you what, Wayne Simmons has done I tell you, he's a leader type.
Yep.
And that's the type of player that Toronto's needed for a while. Was he with them last year? I want to say he was.
Wayne Simmons is a guy who always he's a grit guy.
He's a third winger, and he used to be a top line forward. He's a third liner now, but you need guys like that on a team. You don't need a whole team of them. He'd fit in beautifully with us, honestly.
Here's the thing: like we overvalue players like that. We just do. And I mean, Wayne Simmons, think about this. He's goals. Ooh, nice opportunity, Bellows. Nice opportunity, Bellows. But think about this. Wayne Simmons has
holy crap.
We're throwing a body around.
A body check by Parise.
Look at Parise playing like a freaking man possessed on the ice. That's what I need to see out of him. That's what I need to see out of Parise. I tell you, we've got a little bit of a sustained zone pressure for the first time this period. It only took about 6.5 minutes to establish this, but I'm not complaining. We finally have a little bit of zone pressure here against the Toronto Maple Leafs.
I'm going to tell you what, the next goal in this game is pivotal.
Yep. If we score, I think we're in good shape. If we give up another goal, we're done.
It's almost like we're done. If we go down 2 goals, we're finished.
Oh my God, what a bad dump! And I tell you, they're going to be able to just go ahead and clear this with no issues.
They're really, oh my gosh.
They move so quick, and they're just they're skating past every single player on our team. We're a slow ass team. This is exactly what we mean.
Well, that's our Achilles heel. And I've been saying it for the last couple of years, man. We are throwing the body, another crunching check on a Toronto defenseman. If you're playing, this is playoff hockey, that's the type of play that wears out a team at the end of the series. Another check on the same guy.
The Islanders are throwing the body around. The Islanders are treating this game like it's a must-win playoff game. Holy shit. I'll tell you, who did they just zip around right there? Was that Mayfield? I'm not sure who it was
nice hustle back by I'll tell you what, 78 did a nice job because Beauvillier can move his feet.
They have the intensity.
They're right back in the zone again. They're right back in the offensive zone again.
They're playing fire engine style of hockey, and the intensity of this game has significantly picked up over the last few minutes.
I want to say I need to do a better job learning all the players. I know some of the players, but I don't know every player on every team, particularly with the new numbers, 60s, 70s, all these crazy ass numbers. I liked it better when I didn't have to remember so many numbers.
Oh my gosh! Look at this. Oh,
Marner, nice job.
Nice job by
Austin
Toronto.
Matthews.
Yeah, and they get a one-time opportunity. Thankfully, it's blocked. The shot attempt blocked by the Islanders. But dude, the intensity of this game has really picked up.
Absolutely.
No doubt about it. And this is
nice play by Marner coming back.
Yeah, he intercepts a pass there that would have gone to Brock Nelson for a wide open shot attempt, right in a high danger chance to score.
And there's an icing call.
The Islanders going to keep this Toronto team out here for a little longer, hopefully. And it's all because Cizikas is throwing.
It was Cizikas twice. I don't know. The Maple Leaf guys laughing. Maybe he enjoyed it. Then Clutterbuck against the guy who gave up the first goal, Lillehammer.
Yeah, and there it is.
Lillehammer again.
And that was okay. I thought it was a huge hit by Paul.
Okay, I'm going to tell you what. Brock looked off sides as well.
A good pass attempt there by Beauvillier, but good job by Toronto's defense being able to intercept that. I'll tell you the intensity, and this has been actually a very entertaining game to watch. Even though it's not in the favor of the Islanders at the moment, this is entertaining hockey. It's something Islander fans are not treated to all that often.
And usually, whenever we are entertained during an Islander game, the other team has to bring it.
Eddie here saying how much can you punish a kid for a game-winning goal? Yeah, that's a good question. Eddie says I want Trotz gone more than I want another breath.
Wow.
Cheese said Tony Cheese saying, I don't know if it's true or not, but sources said that Gillies, God damn it, you bastard, Tony Cheese. I didn't know. Jesus, Tony Cheese got my ass again. Every podcast he does this. He says, I don't know if it's true or not, but sources said that Gillies said that this next Islanders game is a must win. Lose and the season's over. Oh man, Tony Cheese always gets me. David D says here, are we ever going to win a game this year against a good team?
Yes, we will eventually win a game against a good team.
The last game we won against a good team was against Boston.
Yeah,
that's the last time we won a game against a good and talented team.
And I don't want to say because they had everybody out on COVID and that stuff. I don't want to say
an
that.
Excuse. I was about to say they did, but it's an excuse. We won't use it. We beat
Boston.
Was
last year. Wasn't that last year?
That was December 16th. That was the last time we've beaten a team of good standing.
Over a month ago. Okay.
Yeah, so worth just taking into account. SP says, honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if Wally asked for a trade. The disrespect he's gotten, the coaching staff is biased against him for some reason. I can't understand why.
Barzal went through the same thing. Same exact thing. But it was even worse because Barzal's a better player than Dobson.
Angelo M saying 20 minutes of a garbage game. Parise with a goal. Yeah, Nick D saying here, big goal by Parise, second of the season. Time to sell Scott. His trade value is at an all-time high. Oh, man. Warzone Senior Citizen said, yeah, is Varlamov in net? Yes.
Barely.
So.
Barely
in that. Tony Cheese saying, that's the key to success for this team. We figured it out, boys. Bounce, passes.
That's the way we've been scoring, right? Do you believe in miracles?
Against Arizona, yes. Too. Brett W says, do you believe in miracles? That ancient fossil scored. Oh, man. And then Frank C says, I agree, Grumpy, about the uniforms.
Yeah, me too. That would have been a nice little homage right there.
Frank C saying another goal through his legs. Talk about Varlamov. Michael T saying that's it. Trade value for trade Varlamov, trade Pajot, trade Mayfield, fire Trotz. JK 2 minutes pessimistic was saying Varlamov sucks. What a sieve. I want you to decide. Says 5-hole city. Oh my freaking god, Dobson. WTF. D cut saying I can't remember what Dobson did, but
that maybe was in the second period. If that's the end of the game, that wasn't Dobson. That was
oh my god! Look at this opportunity. Go!
Get up, Varlamov!
What the hell? What? There was no defenseman. What in God's green earth was going on there? Jesus Christ! They look like they are ready to score again. And here we go. Man. Another goal against. Well, that's it, boys.
Okay, look at how they move the puck. That's what happens when you have skilled players on your team, Barry. This is what skill does.
This is what Oliver Wahlstrom and players like Kiefer Bellows can do for you. Look at this opportunity. First off,
my gosh,
who the hell's out there on the ice with them? I mean, it's Green.
Five guys.
Mayfield. What the hell? Well, look at Green and Mayfield.
Mayfield, Green, Barzal,
holy shit.
Jarnack.
Oh my god. My god.
An average. I mean,
this. Jesus. Honestly, if that's Sorokin, he makes that save. Sorokin is so quick side to side. Sorokin makes that save.
Maybe, but I'm not going to bury him on that.
It's not okay. Here's the thing. It's not a goal. I expect Varlamov to save. If Sorokin's in net, he's so quick side to side, he makes that save. No freaking way. Change my mind. That guy who sprawls out like a freaking cat, like a spider, 8-legged spider, sprawling all over the place. He makes that save. That's all I'm saying. Oh, here's the Islanders on the power play. I wonder if okay, gotcha. I'll have to watch. I'm not complaining. We're going on the power play, but they're saying that's interference.
Wow. Okay.
Here's the thing. I think that's a makeup. They want us.
Okay. I'm going to say that happens all game. It's already happened 5 or 6 times this game. Whatever. It's a benefit for us. I don't care.
I think they need to get it. I think they want
us to score here, though. Oh my god.
I think they want us to score one. It happens all the time. I'm shocked it was called. I'm happy it was called, though. Drew L says Varlamov sucks without a defense. Well, I wouldn't even say it's without a defense. I mean, he's just been miserable.
He's a solid goalie. Nothing more, nothing less. That's what he is. Solid.
SP says Sorokin should be playing. What the heck? For certain. Trotz will not pull his veterans, says David D. Yep. True. Angela N saying that sucked. Bench him like you do Wally. Or trade him. And holy freak, Varlamov sucks. Rick C says, yep. Yeah, I could not believe with less than a second left on the clock. JK here says, dude, Varlamov should have saved the Wilson goal in the Capitals game as well. Varlamov has had so much time to see that shot, and he let it in.
Yeah.
We're already 30 seconds off of our power play. We really haven't established zone entry. Well, here you go. Oh, Bellows tries to take it in across by himself, gets dispossessed, and the puck gets dumped deep. About a minute left on the Islanders power play, Grumpy.
We have no answer when we get stood up at the blue line. None.
Well, here it is again. Well, maybe that was Nelson, the original.
Well, that time Nelson was able to get it past that first line defense just barely.
And a nice shot attempt there by Bellows.
Here's what I like about Bellows. He gets the puck, he's freaking putting it on net.
We don't have enough shooters or players with a shooter mentality on this team. Bellows and Wallstrom are both players who have that shooter mentality.
Why is he not playing on the right side on the power play? I mean, shouldn't he be a right wing now? If you listen to Barry, that's what he is.
Oh,
look at how much better he is on the left wing. Because that's his natural spot. He's a top 6 left wing. That's what he is. He's not a bottom 6 right wing, Barry, you jackass.
A jackass. All I could think of was who is that?
Jackass.
Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore. Yeah.
Joe C says Sorokin is great. Keep playing him. Yeah.
That was Joe Flaherty who had that line and he was with SCTV back in the day.
My goodness, Grump. Jesus. You'd figure we are strong. God almighty. Less than 40 seconds remaining for the Islanders power play. We've had one
shot. Get a goal before the end of the period. We're just standing still. Bailey.
Oh my God. What a bad offsides. Oh,
Bailey.
35 seconds remain for the Islanders power play. Anthony Beauvillier forces himself offside with a bad pass there to Bailey. 8 minutes and 41 seconds remaining here in the second period. Islanders must score to cut the lead to 1 goal before the third period begins.
And just to let people know, no, Bailey has not been benched for the first period and a half. He's just been non-existent.
Yes, that's accurate. D-Cut says here, so all these young guys, everyone he loves, he cost us both goals, Barzal and Dobson, with awful turnovers. Okay.
Dobson didn't have the turnover.
D-Cut, man, come on. That was a weak-ass goal, the second one by Varlamov. I'm blaming Varlamov on the goal against.
Barzal turned over the one, but here's you got to be able to get that. And he's got to make that save. Anyway, I mean, that fell off a Marner's stick and just rolled in the net. The goalie's got to make a save for you.
It was a bad turnover by Matt Barzal, which led to a breakaway opportunity. But like when I'm watching these shot attempts, the first one wasn't even a shot.
Yeah, but it was like it's 160 foot from net. I mean, that's the whole thing. It's so far away from the net.
Parise's makes it an up down low, but again, he's playing on a power play, second power play. Oh man. Geez, look at that though, Grumpy. Drew L says, now we see why Washington didn't re-sign him on full display.
True.
Mm-hmm. And then Angela N saying here, Sorokin could have done back-to-back. He only faced 17 shots last night. Yeah, so I didn't get it. I don't understand the rationale behind it.
He should be playing.
He's choking tonight. A big game. He
should be playing 3 out of 4 games.
Yes, he should. The remainder of the season, he should be playing the lion's share. No doubt about it. Stop with this 50-50 bullshit.
But it's going to be 50-50. With the amount of games and the amount of days, it'll be 50-50.
Slinky YouTube says here, the Leafs aren't even playing Jack Campbell. The Islanders need to take advantage. Yeah, that's right, Slinky. Think about this. They're not even playing They're not even playing the starting goalie. I mean, Jack Campbell's been fantastic this year. They're playing the backup, Peter Mrazek. The Islanders power play ends, by the way, grumpy old man. No goals for the Islanders on the power play. About 7 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the period.
Yeah. Well, you can only get 1 goal on a power play unless it's a major. So,
yeah.
Jarnac is fighting. At least he's fighting for the puck.
The thing is, I've liked the way Zarnak has played as of recent. Zarnak should not be playing on the first line, though. Again, he scored a goal yesterday. People say, oh, he scored a goal. Yeah, I like the way he's played. He's not a first line guy.
No.
He should have been playing, and he never should have been taken out of the lineup. He was performing. But as soon as players come back healthy, they say, nope, we got to go back to the same old tried and true method that we had out there to start the season.
Best case scenario for him is third line. That's best case.
Yep.
Optimally, he's really a fourth line player.
He's played well. He should be in every season.
Yeah, I have no problem at all playing him, but you're playing him again. We're playing bottom 6 forwards in top 6 roles. We're playing top 6 forwards, skill set wise, in bottom 6 roles. It's just stupid.
Doug R said, must fire Trotz ASAP. Tony Chi saying shorthanded goal against and giving up goals less than a minute after we've scored this season blows. Owen Knight says here, Varlamov should leave the arena now. Drew L says, TJ, people will look at his stats and think he's just on a bad team. And Varlamov still has trade value. No general manager is watching every game on 8 different TV screens. That's true.
Yeah, but they will look at his game if they're thinking about trading for him. They have advanced scouts who are there.
They've got scouts. Yeah. I'm happy. Ooh, I tell you, the way the NHL goes now, I'm happy Chara was not called on anything, and I'm happy he kind of positioned himself to the side because he easily could have just flattened him into the boards.
Yeah, that's not a penalty for me.
Dave F saying Varlamov is really not good. Trotz needs to go for reals. JG says TJ's fired up tonight. I love it. Yeah, for certain. Paulo C says here we have no choice to move. We have no choice to move Varlamov for an offensive forward.
Again, unless you move some forwards out, there's nowhere for them to play. Everyone is long-term, signed to long-term deals, talent notwithstanding. You got to move some of those guys to add somebody to the forward group, period.
Mm-hmm. Dave F says here, bad turnovers definitely, but Sorokin stops both of those shots. Varlamov has been known for weak goals, and that's my thing. You're going to have players that make mistakes. When Chara makes a mistake every single night, I don't see people saying, yeah, we need to go. Well, actually, we do see people doing that. Chara needs to be off the ice. But when Pelech makes a mistake or Scott Mayfield makes a mistake on the defensive side of the puck, I don't see people saying, yeah, we need to go ahead and bench him like Barry benches the young guys when they make mistakes. Yeah, did Barzal, have a turnover in the offensive zone on power play? Yes, he did. Was our defense caught flat-footed, and did our goalie give up a weak-ass goal? Yes, those things are both also true. And the same thing here with the second goal against at the end of the period. Did Dobson have a turnover in the offensive zone? Yes. Did it create an opportunity to where, again, Varlamov just lets in a weakie with less than a second left to go as a contested shot? That's also a yes.
Yeah, but Andy Green was right there. He needs to make a better play on these. He's got the man, and he lets the man go past him.
I said it's a contested shot, but I'm just like, that's why I don't blame. That's why I'm looking at these items, right? It's not like, okay, I've got to blame the young guys. I've got to blame Barzy and Dobson. I'm sorry.
Here's the thing. Pelech, Mayfield, Chara, Green, they all no one goes without a game through a game without turning the puck over.
Yeah. Especially with a guy who possesses the puck and controls the puck as much as Barzal does. He's always going to have a lot of turnovers. Michael T says here he's crying. Yeah. JK here says too much stress mistaking. Agreed. Moreover, this game was a rocking chair game. Sorokin was not tested.
That game was last night's game was a rocking chair game. Correct.
Gotcha. And then Angela N says we need points. Fuck, rest. Yeah.
True.
And then Drew L said, at this rate, Barry will play Corey Schneider over Sorokin. Just kidding, of course.
Where are the rest of the forwards? Where are the rest of the forward group? You had Bellows down there chasing after two guys. Everybody else was, I don't know where they were. Resting?
Good takeaway by Robin Salo in the defensive zone.
That kid's hustling. He'll go to the bench. And, Pajot's not been good at all this year for the most part.
He still plays every freaking night. Why is Sarnak not playing over him? John Gabriel Pajot plays power play minutes too. He plays on a power play, plays on a penalty kill, plays 15 some odd minutes a night. Production hasn't been there for him this year either. Simple as that. Yeah, so.
Nice job by Salo bringing the puck out of zone. He turned it over though. But you know what? Where's the help? They put two guys on him. It's like, where is everybody else?
Oh, man. I tell you.
And
we've got 5 minutes left in play. Toronto has taken it to us this period. We've thrown the body around. They've thrown the body around a bit. But Toronto, I think, has dominated the period. We have got to try to change momentum in the last 5 minutes. We're down 2 goals. We've got to at least go into the third period with at least, a full wind in our sails.
I hate to say it, Toronto's just better than we are. They're just a better team. We're outplayed by a better team. See, this is why I look at these games more than the Arizonas, the Pittsburghs. I'm sorry, the Philadelphias, the Buffaloes. Those games don't mean any. Yes, we have to win them, but they're not games that mean anything in the great big picture. You have to beat the good teams. Toronto's a good team.
We talk about the winning streak the Islanders have been on 7-1-1 or whatever it was. Maybe it's 8-1-1. I can't remember off the top of my head. But we had mentioned they're playing a lot of the teams at the bottom of the NHL, all bottom 10 teams. You played the Flyers twice, who are on a 10-game losing streak. You played the Ottawa Senators. You played the Devils. You played a lot of really, really bad teams. We're going to have a lot of tough teams or teams that are near us or above us upcoming in the schedule, towards the middle of the season and on this West Coast trip. And if we're unable to beat and compete with these top-end teams, right, I think that's a harbinger for bad things for us when we have to start playing them on a game-in, game-out basis. I think we're going to see those losses really start to compound.
Toronto looks like they have a plan to exit their defensive zone. It never looks like we do, ever.
John M says here, the goalie needs to be pulled. Wake the F up, Trotz.
Mitch Marner just out-muscled Robin Salo.
Oh, I'll tell you, that was another cross check there, but we get away with it. I think that was Scott Mayfield.
It's not a cross check unless they call it.
Okay, fair enough. Hey, I'm happy they're not calling cross checks. I'm just saying, you look at how much things have changed, right? At the beginning of the year, those were all penalty calls. They're no longer that now.
Oh, my God.
In a one-time attempt. My God. We just looked hemmed in our own zone. Can't do a damn thing.
Oh. It's tough. It's tough to watch. This is Barry's team right here. This is a team he wants out there. A bunch of veterans. This is what he wants.
Home game, too.
Yeah.
Home game. After the death of Clark Gillies. Legend. Team legend, right? You feel like the team would come out fired up. They would be playing with a lot of energy. Just hasn't been the case tonight. They've been throwing the body around, but the energy just can't match with Toronto's skill. The energy cannot match with Toronto's skill level.
I'm going to disagree with you there. I think our energy has been good. Toronto's just better than we are. At some point in time, you just have to say, guess what? We're just not talented enough. I don't think we haven't quit. We're throwing the body. We're trying. Toronto's just better than we are. They're a step or two faster than we are.
Our energy level, it cannot match the talent of Toronto. So it doesn't matter. It's not like our energy level is kicked up to 120%. So we're able to outmuscle them to every puck because we're really going 110%. I think we're putting forth some effort, but again, I think Toronto is putting equal effort out there on the ice. I really thought today we were going to come out looking like the better team, flying all over the place. I mean, I really thought this is the game where it's like, hey, the Islanders are going to be pumped up. They're going to be flying a million miles a second. I just don't think it's been there. We've been outskated every single puck. Every loose puck is won by Toronto. And look at that. Here's Char trying to start.
I think Char's trying to get the team fired up because we know Char. His name Char is better
in the penalty box for 5 minutes.
He's a very nice man as well. He's a very nice man.
Exactly. He knows what he's doing. He's a real true professional. He's a fantastic. If this is Chara 5 years ago, I'd say yes every day of the week. But it's Chara now. No, thank you.
I think he's godfather to half of the officials' children around the league too.
Joe C says, I love Trotz. The Islanders have been competitive after miserable years. You've got to play Wahlstrom and Sorokin, though, man. Yep, and those are the issues we have with Trotz. Trotz has really turned the team into a competitive team, but the player personnel decisions have just been woeful at best.
But that's his style. And here's the thing. It's good. If you've been a bad team, Barry Trotz is not a guy to put you over the top. He's a guy who can get you real close. They were lucky to win that 1 year in Washington. Lucky that they were played an expansion team in the finals.
Dave F says here, I wonder if any of the journalists will have the marbles to press Trotz about Wahlstrom, or even let's say about Sorokin.
No, because Barry will just say, well, just a coach's decision. I didn't like what I've seen from coach's decision. And he says it with a tone that they don't have the cojones to double down on the question. They just don't.
Yeah, well, they don't want to have their press pass taken away by Lou and Barry and the Islanders. The Islanders mob. The cartel, hey man, the cartel media, that's how they get paid, Grumpy. Eddie says here, if you're mad at Trotz.
Yeah. To me, it's reminiscent of how Bill Belichick has trained the Boston media.
Yeah. I'll tell you, he runs a tight ship the same way Lou runs that tight ship here.
Without a doubt.
And then Eddie Knight, and I don't agree with this, but he says, I hope something horrible happens to Varlamov. No, I just hope he gets pulled out of the game. We see I really just hope Trotz wakes up and says, oh, hold on a second. I've had a moment of euphoria. Oh my gosh, I've had an awakening. I should be playing Sorokin, at least bare minimum 68, maybe 70% of the remaining games of the season because he's our better goalie. Oh man, I just realized that. I don't know why I didn't see it till now, but you know what? I've had an aha moment. That's what I want to see happen. I don't want to wish anything bad on Varlamov, but I understand the sentiment, Owen.
My gosh, they just have chance after chance. It's like, after the timeout, it's almost like they're scrimmaging. It's like it's a 7-on-7 drill in football, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, there's 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining, and we have been dominated. And anytime Toronto has the puck in our zone, they just look like they're deadly, and they're going to have a chance to score. Not good, not good. We're still down by 2 goals. Wow, bad turnover by Toronto. I was hoping we'd be able to get. Looks like that might be a 2-on-1, a 3-on-2.
Nice play by Pelech.
Nice job, Pelech. Really good job breaking up that opportunity. And we've got an odd man rush going the other way, but we're so slow in transition setting up that we squander it and allow the forward from Toronto to get back and turn it into a 3-on-3.
It was the fourth line that's been out there forever. It seems like today it's the fourth line. Oh my gosh, look at this! They just it seems like they do whatever they want in the offensive zone.
We're playing that collapsing style, and we have 4 guys in between the dots at all times, is what it seems like. We're just saying, hey, we want to load everybody up in front of Varlamov and hope that we're able to block enough shots, and they're not able to get through to Varley.
I don't know what Barry's press conference tonight's going to be, but it can't possibly be good.
It shouldn't be good. I mean, I'm not saying if we honestly, I hate to say this, player personnel decision maybe change the outcome of this game, or it changes the picture at this point. We wouldn't be down 2 goals. Oh, man, I tell you.
Maybe we'll get lucky and score a goal in the last second like Toronto did last period.
I won't hold my breath, Grumpy. And then Doug R says, who would ever want to play here at this rate? You play for a coach who doesn't allow scoring, and you need to be 30 plus years in age.
I've been saying that for quite a while. Awful tough.
He's a stubborn ass too.
Awful tough to attract scoring players when you don't preach that game at all.
John M saying here, I'm so pissed at Wallstrom. He must be healthy scratch. But Grumpy, look at that. Do you know what time it is, Grumpy?
It's the end of the second period, which means that it's ad time.
Yeah. Do you not even remember who our sponsor is, Grumpy?
I remember who it is. I can read.
It's draft. It's draft.
Unlike some people on this podcast.
And not only is it time for Barry to wake the hell up and have an aha moment, but it is draft. It is ad time by DraftKings. We're on to the divisional round of the NFL playoffs, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is celebrating with huge odds boosts for new customers. Counting down to Super Bowl 56, new customers can get 56-1 odds on any team. You bet just $5 and get $280 in free bets if your team wins. If Sportsbook isn't available in your state yet, you can still get in on all the action of the divisional round. Everyone can play for huge cash prizes with DraftKings Daily Fantasy Football Contest. DraftKings is giving all new customers a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes with their first deposit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use the promo code THPN and get 56-1 odds on any NFL team. Bet just $5 and win $280 in free bets if your team wins. That's promo code THPN for 56-1 odds at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. You must be 21 years or older in New Jersey, Indiana, or Pennsylvania only. New customers only. Minimum of a $5 deposit and a $1 wager is required. One per customer. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full details. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Yay, TJ. Let's see if we can wrap up these comments before the third period starts.
I am very confident, Grumpy, that we'll be able to get through all of these comments.
Okay.
I'm just smiling. Who knows? John M. Sam, so pissed that Wallstrom the healthy scratch. Yeah. Tater Trots. Brian B saying here, Varlamov should not be net. I agree. Jeff E says here at the game, so pissed at Varlamov right in front of us. A weak ass goal. Damn it. Ride Ilya Sorokin. Yep. Couldn't agree more. 17 shots. 17 shots. That's all I'm going to say. Brett W says, we're all fired up, Grumpy. Enough is enough.
I understand, but we can't have two people exploding on the podcast. Usually that's my job, but TJ's doing it today. So I'm going to try to be the voice of reason, which is hard.
Grumpy, there's no problem with this, dude. Be real with it, Grump. That's all we've got to do.
That's
Because guess
okay.
what? That's all. I just want
Don't
you
worry
to be
about it.
with the grumpy.
My time is coming. You don't need to worry about that.
My time is coming. Dave P says, nope. The soft ass kissers are afraid of Barry and Lou, the media cartel, for certain.
100%. 100%.
Joe C says, you think Barzal is better because of that, though? Because of benching that he received? I think the system, I think there's a different way to teach a guy like that. He's the best player on the team. I understand you want more of him. You should never bench. Could you imagine if Connor McDavid makes, again, he's not Connor McDavid. He is like Connor McDavid-esque on our team. He's the best player on our team by a country mile. Let me use a better example because Connor
we don't have Leon Draisaitl either.
Yes. Who would you compare him to, Grumpy, on a team that is bereft of talent?
I guess I would consider like when Jack Eichel was with Buffalo, maybe.
Okay, yeah, Grumpy. Like Jack Eichel with Buffalo. It'd be like you sitting Jack Eichel when he was healthy playing for Buffalo, a superstar, and saying, yeah, Jack Eichel, we didn't like how you had that bad turnover. Does he need to do better and not turn over the puck as much? Yeah, for certain. And I'm saying there's other ways to show him that. He was the only guy that was being benched at the time period too, which was always mind numbing to me. So did it make him a better player? I think it did. Maybe it made him a better player. But could you have made him also a better player by teaching him those items and saying, hey, I expect more out of you, and having, more personal one-on-one situations and talks? I think that also would have done the trick. Scores around the league. Yep, Grumpy. The New Jersey Devils are up 5-4 over the Carolina Hurricanes. The New York Rangers are beating the Arizona Coyotes 5-3, and the Ottawa Senators are up 2-0 on the Washington Capitals.
Woo-hoo. Capitals are they're starting to tank a little bit. They're just in a wild card spot now with 53 points.
Oh, look at that. A double aught Buck Prep says yesterday was a warm up for Sorokin. I'm speechless here. My wife has a look on her face right now, waiting for me to lose it. I'm ready to throw my TV on Trotz's front lawn. Yeah.
Yep. It's just, to me, it's what you call a throw the remote moment. You just just throw the remote.
I wish you had a remote so you could throw a remote, Grumpy.
Yeah, just throw the remote. Just bam.
Drew L says Nick's coach is exactly the same as Trotz. Don't worry, we got two Barry Trotzes in New York in sports. Want you to decide says Wallstrom, Bellows, Sarnak, Johnston should all be in the lineup every night, and Sorokin should be playing most nights. It seems simple. Yeah, and that's the thing that pisses me off. It seems so simple, yet it's something that our coach completely disagrees with us on ideology-wise, which just blows my mind.
Well, for me, it's if the other veterans who are taking their spots were performing, no problem. But they're not. See, that's the whole thing. They're not. And we saw when these players, the younger players, and Jarnac, he's not young, but when they were giving a legitimate chance when we had COVID, the team looked better, looked energized. We played better. We started winning games. I don't know. Figure it out for yourself.
SP said, rest in peace, Gillies, always an Islander.
True.
He's been saying, by the way, hello all. SP also says, we're catching up to teams because the teams that we're playing are even worse than us. And it's pretty, and then there's a pretty clear divide in the conference between the bad and the good teams. Yep.
True.
It is a stark difference between the teams that are in the playoffs and the teams that are out of the playoff pictures in this division and in the division as well, the other division in the East.
Yes.
Frank C says here, did you see Al Arbor not play bossy? Arbor told Torrey to draft him, and I'll teach him how to play defense. Did you ever see Al Arbor benching Mike Bossy? And it wasn't like a one-time thing with Matt Barzal. He used to bench him all the time. Did you ever say, bah, we don't like the way you're playing defense? Benched. We're not going to play in the third period, Mike Bossy. Don't worry about it. And he's not Mike Bossy. I'm not trying to say Wallstrom is bossy or Matt Barzal's bossy. Not trying to do that.
Yeah, because they're not. But what happened? What did Al Arbor do that? What would Barry Trotz have done with Mike Bossy? He would have played him on third line. I don't care if you score 50 goals a year on this team. We need you to play defense. That's what I'm saying. What truly good coaches, I'll say great coaches, but even good coaches, what they do is they alter their system or adjust their system to meet the skill set of the players you have. Barry Trotz does not do that. He tries to jam players into his system. That's why we're drafting Simon Holmstrom's, Lundkrantz's, all these other guys who are grinder types in high draft spots, as opposed to just going for talent. Talent wins out at the end. Talent is what you need to win Stanley Cups. You need talent. You can get a grinder anywhere. You don't need to re-sign bottom 4 players or last 4th line players to 6-year deals or 4-year deals or 5-year deals.
Because what did we see this year, right? Casey Cizikas, we resigned this offseason to a 6-year deal. Austin Zarnak has looked really good.
Better.
He's averaging a point every other game, and he's looked really good, not only on the offensive side of the puck, as well as on the defensive side of the puck, and he plays penalty kills. And because we signed Casey to a 6-year deal as a guy who's close or near his 30s, or I'm sorry, is Casey as a 4th line center we signed in his 30s to a 6-year deal? We don't have a spot for Zarnak because we just continue to re-sign the flotsam that's on this team.
We just keep on signing. And here's the thing. It's not like our forward group is that great.
Yeah.
You can't improve unless you get rid of some of those guys. The vast majority are free to go. They don't produce.
Rich A said, told you that Wallstrom scratch was coming. Palmieri would have been in if he could have played today.
True. That's for certain. But what you're going to see is you'll see Wallstrom. Bellows is done. Of course, we know that. But what you might see is if Zarnak performs like he has been, Wallstrom will be sitting when Palmieri comes back.
JG says here, Gillies was a full package, an enforcer with skills.
Without a doubt.
JK here saying, Grump, I love your extra.
I don't know what extra was. I don't know.
Brian P said, I've been with you guys since the beginning on how Barry treats young, skilled guys. He's been that way for 30 years. He's never going to change.
Right. He's not going to change ever.
Oh, he said explicative Mike Milbury.
Oh, yeah, man.
Mike Milbury. Tony Cheese saying, I'm in the Boston area. I'll keep knocking on doors until I find Milbury. Exactly. We're going to knock on every door. Mike Milbury, where are you? Eddie says here, me neither. Who knows? Stephen V says, as a hardcore Islander fan living in Arizona, I honestly think it will be more fun to watch the Coyotes for the rest of the season.
I disagree. I watched the Coyotes last night. No.
How's that say? I mean, maybe
terrible.
Yeah,
they're terrible.
I want you to sigh here. Says, why do you want to talk to Milbury? I'd rather have any of some of the other former players. Here's the thing. Milbury is he's bombastic. He's bombastic, and I've always wanted to ask him about how when he ruined the Islanders organization. Nobody ever pressed his ass on that. I mean,
that's the way to get him on the show. That's the way to get him on the show, saying I want to grill him on when he ruined the organization. It's not
Mike. No, I want to talk about how fantastic of a general manager and a coach you were, Mike. You were fantastic, and I want to talk about the great things you did to this organization. That's what I really want to talk about, Mike. He's a bombastic guy with a hell of a personality, and I think that Grumpy and him, I can only imagine when Grumpy and him and myself would have a podcast. He would never. I don't know. I would love to do that.
See, the question I asked, did that guy ever ask you to autograph that shoe you hit him with? Because I would think that would bring in some money.
Oh, good gracious. And then we've got here Lamario Owens saying, I can't believe that the Sabres actually scored 6 goals today, but let's go Buffalo. I'm a huge Sabre fan. Well, Lamario, hey, at least you've got some draft picks. You've got some young guys up in the pipeline. You finally got rid of Jack Eichel. So
the only thing is you don't get to play Philadelphia every night. That's the one drawback.
Yeah, unfortunately not there, Grumpy.
And they stand up our point total too.
Who else? Who do they trade? Who was involved? Oh, yeah, they got Peyton Krebs. I was about to say you traded for Peyton Krebs. I mean, he's a talented player over there. And
they're in constant rebuild. I don't think Kevin Adams is that good at GM.
No, he's not. Paulo C says here, I would have nothing against Bailey if he was a third liner. So I asked myself, who do I hate more, Bailey or Trotz?
And I'd have no problem with Bailey if he was a third line player. But he's just nondescript. And at $5 million a year, there's money better spent in other places. That's all.
TJPE says here, so done with Barry. There's no excuse for benching Wallstrom. Yep.
You let the young guys. Here's the thing. Wallstrom was playing great 3 games ago. I'm just saying. Bellows, Dobson, Salo, 3 games ago. All of a sudden, Barry comes back. They all suck. Don't tell me what doesn't fit? It's Barry Trotz.
Frank K says Varlamov is done. Warzone Senior Sister says here Andrew Gross is a shill. Truth isn't in his nature. He's perfect for the cartel. There's a lot of people that fit really well in with the cartel. Eddie says too many bootlicking weasels in the Islanders cartel. Almost all of them. Yeah, everybody who covers the Islanders does the same thing. They want the press pass. Yeah, the press treats Trotz the same way. Ooh, and political. Angela N.
Right,
Angela N. saying Al Arbor was special.
Absolutely.
Eddie says this podcast is therapeutic, no doubt, 100%.
That's what we're here for. We're here.
You're not alone. You're not alone.
You're not alone.
You're not alone. Don't
we feel that we are helping domestic violence in the home.
We're helping you. We're helping damaged items, goods. We're helping you from smashing remotes on the ground. We're helping you from throwing your TV on, Barry Trotz's lawn. That's what we're trying to help with.
Or beating up your wife if she asks a question, anything. How's the game going? Ah! See, now you can vent here and you don't have to, beat your wife or anything.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily do that one, Grumpy, because nobody
I'm just saying we're here to help with those things. Let people vent their frustrations so they don't take it out on others. How about that?
SP says, hey, Grump, you predicted the goaltending situation a few days ago, right? You said that Trotz would put Sorokin in against the worst team and Varlamov against the better team. Yeah.
Why, though? Why? He wants Varlamov. I think he wants Varlamov to take over the number one spot. Here they got the commercial with that poor dog with freaking ice skates on his damn feet.
I don't see it because I always watch ESPN Plus, but
okay.
Yep, it's so frustrating, says Dave F. Jared Brown says, sup. He's a Vegas Golden Knights fan. What's up, Jared Brown? Eddie says, Trotz's lineup choices are 100% retarded. No two ways about it. Bowman 2169 says, hi, what's up, Bowman? John M saying here, I'm so glad Auburn has a good basketball coach, not a Trotz coach. Big win today. War Eagle. They beat Kentucky.
Yep. Here's the thing. If he was coaching a college basketball team, I don't think no one would ever play.
Dave F saying, TJ, are you under the weather? You got some bass in your voice. No, I'm just, hey, man.
So usually you sound like a bitch, but I guess now
that's what I say. I take it as a compliment, though, Dave. Thank you. Jared B saying, who do you think the Islanders should trade for? Draft picks.
Draft picks.
Draft picks. Young players.
No players, draft picks.
Prospects and draft picks. Drew L said, I'll take my vegan donut, medium creamy.
Well,
I need a vegan donut. Grumpy,
you need anything.
Yeah. Oh, dude, by the way, remember after we got off the live stream yesterday, you know what I had for dinner? I didn't eat it all that day. Well, a little different. I cut it down to 5 hot dogs and 2 servings of ramen noodles. So ramen and hot dogs, baby.
Disgusting.
Oh, I put some barbecue sauce on there too, Grumpy.
You eat like an animal. You just why don't you just scoop some trash out of the damn bottom of a garbage can?
Hi, man. I tell you, it was good.
Ugh.
I ate it. Oh, 5 hot dogs, 2 things of ramen. Ugh. It was good, man. Ramen and hot dogs. Can't beat it. Nick D says Varlamov, Bailey, and Palmieri all have something in common. They're all plumbers.
Yeah.
Michael T says, do you guys think Lamoriello is seeing things the way we are in any shape or form?
I think that he's giving Barry, what did they want to do when they came here, right? They wanted to make the team
a winner.
And
they wanted to bring respect to the Islanders and bring respect back to the franchise, which they did.
They have done, without a doubt.
They accomplished the initial goal of coming here, no doubt about it.
Right. So now you should be in phase 2. We want to win a Stanley Cup. Okay. Well, we're not going to argue.
Real quick. That was their goal, too. They said that at the beginning of the season. Stanley Cup or bust. That comes directly out of Barry Trotz's mouth. I'm sorry. Continue.
But for me, you weren't good enough the last 2 years. You made no changes to the roster this year, except adding a 44-year-old defenseman and a 37-year-old left wing. And you think that's enough to compete and win a Stanley Cup. I'm sorry. I don't think anyone could have said that. We are just another year older. Everyone else in the league, Pittsburgh's too old. Washington's too old. We're older than both of them. I didn't hear anybody say the Islanders are too old, except for the people on this podcast. And you're seeing it right in front of you every night.
Oh, Grumpy. I don't disagree with that. I'm reading the comments. Apparently, a vegan donut is a sexual term and not an actual vegan donut.
Oh.
Nick D letting us know. Apparently, it's the same as a pink taco. I
Oh,
assume a
okay.
pink taco is a
I got
sexual
you.
term too.
I
So
got
here I am. I'm talking about actual freaking donuts here, and people
Okay.
are talking about get your minds out of the gutter. I'll eat myself an actual vegan donut if somebody wanted to give me one. LGI says I'm so pissed right now. Lou R says these young guys are going to ask for trade.
They have no power right now, so they can't do anything. Matt Barzell's the big one this offseason.
Yep.
That's huge. Does he say, yes, I want to resign? Or does he just say, particularly after a bad year, which you're going to have, and not make the playoffs, is he going to say, I want out of here? Or I'm just signing a 1-year deal to get the free agency?
Let's Go Islanders said so. They bench Wallstrom.
Okay, here's your Cadillac question of the day. Who is the only player in Stanley Cup history to score the winning goal in 4 consecutive games? Who do you think that was?
Clark Gillies, Grumpy.
Clark Gillies on the nose.
Mm-hmm.
You knew it was a Gillies question today. I did not know that, by the way, but I just,
Yeah. Stephen V saying wants Trotz out. Yeah. And I'm gonna have to show, we won't be able to read every single comment because we have the podcast right after this and we want to just be able to keep on schedule. But the third period puck drop has taken place.
Barzell is playing with Pajot and Parise. I guess we've seen the end of Kiefer Bellows.
What the hell?
Why is it surprising?
I'm sorry. It's just, so what? Is Kiefer Bellows going to play the least amount of ice time? We play him at right wing, his off wing, and he's going to play the least amount of ice time.
He has played 7.5 minutes today, and that's the least amount on the team.
I tell you, it's just,
No, I'm sorry, Matt Martin, 7 minutes.
Matt Martin, but I'm saying if he's not going to be playing, they're going to be double shifting or changing up the line, double shift. I have no problem with a double shifting of Barzy, but in the same token, right? Okay, now Bellows, unless he's just completely mixing lineups up, I don't know. Maybe he just said we got to go to the blender because we have looked woeful. Holy shit, that's a collision with the netminder and no fight. Okay,
and why are they not blowing the whistle? There it is. Finally, what are you waiting for?
I was about to say, if you fight a team that's got a little bit, I know it was an accident. I think it was intentional, but even an accident like that still usually causes a fight out there on the ice. My God. Oh, he slipped.
Yeah, he just slipped and lost balance. So
Matt Martin.
Well,
Matty Mott.
He needs to go to remedial skating school. Whoop.
Double up buck prep there saying, as I said the other day, I drove limos for Ken and Clark and Al Arbor and Bill Torrey. They're a fantastic 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
They're real people that treated their fans as equals. It tells you more as a person.
That's right.
A lot of
right.
like that. Yeah.
That's right. And that's just class people. Just class people.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I tell you, I got it muted there listening to TJ and the Grumpy Old Man. JG says, I'm muting that Toronto feed. I'm listening to TJ and Grumpy. Well, thanks, JG. We appreciate it. James F. there. What's up? Coyotes are beating the Rangers. Oh, yeah. I'm way behind on the comments. I apologize. Yeah. Brian P. says, Florida is another team that skates circles around us. For certain they are. Yeah. I tell you. Ugh. My goodness. Ugh. We have got to score early. Got to score early.
Yeah.
Anthony R said, I can't stand this team anymore. You have a coach who tries to outsmart everyone, including himself, with the lineups. Then you have a team, whoever it is on that day, just shoot themselves in the foot.
I don't know. The equipment guy is getting some run here.
Yeah,
Mr. Equipment man.
Yeah. James F saying here, he said, I checked my bank statement from the UBS Arena and I spent $150 on food in 2 games. That
sounds like TJ. It sounds like a binge for TJ. Or just a regular day.
That's a 1-day evening if I'm at UBS Arena. $150 eating? That's probably eating and drinking. Maybe I'm at $100, $150, $200.
I just like I said, all you need to, like I said earlier, Bellows is done. He's out.
Oh God Almighty! It's just. I tell you.
It's just a shame. It's just a shame because when Lambert was coaching, he looked good. He looked like he had really a chance to step up, and he was playing so much better. Barry comes in. We're going to stop that right away. Lambert, what the hell do you think you're doing? You're ruining my narrative.
Oh, good gracious, man. I tell you. You talk about it, right? We're about 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the first period, or the third
Third
period. I'm
period.
sorry. Ouch. Wish it was the first period. In the third period, and I mean, Toronto, that we really haven't established much zone time. We need to do something again to gain some momentum. We've been putting more shots towards the net this period than the second.
Mrazek can't field a puck clean at all.
Mm. He's not a good goalie, Peter Mrazek.
His goals against is like 3.5 goals a game.
He's a career journeyman.
Like I said, whenever you see us playing the good teams and they play their backups, that tells you all that you need to know about how much of a threat they think we are.
Just again to show you guys what it looks like, to show you how much of a disparity we have when it comes to shooting the puck on net. Number one, Toronto hasn't generated a lot of shots. They've been scoring, and all of their opportunities have been high danger chances. But we have 14 shots on net. And now let me ask you, do you think we pose a threat against a good team? Like, well, remember when we played Washington, we struggled to get shots on net. Do you think we're going to have over 20, 25 shots against the Toronto Maple Leafs? We only have 14 shots so far on net.
We might get to 20. We might get to 20.
Think about that. We're in the third period down by 2 goals, and we might say, oh, we might get to 20. We need to be generating. This is a period where we should put on 10, 15 shots because of how we're down 2 goals.
Okay.
So,
you look at Toronto.
Ooh, nice opportunity.
But you look at Toronto, and what are they doing? Well, they're just laying back. We'll play a solid defensive game. We don't want to get caught up like we did on that bouncing puck for a goal. Other than that, I mean, Mrazek really has not been tested.
No, I wouldn't say so. But we are throwing the puck on net from every which angle and direction, which is good. But we need to incorporate this sense of urgency for 3 periods.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the first 2 periods we were dominated by Toronto. They're skating, and they still skate circles around us. Look at that bad turnover. Jesus Christ.
Oh, my God.
Bad turnover by Matt.
Toronto got too fancy there. They got way too fancy.
It was a bad turnover by Matt Barzal. He's not had a good game this evening.
I tell you what.
Not the reason we're losing, but he has not had a good game.
Yeah, you know what? I think look who he's playing with.
I think he's frustrated.
I think he's frustrated. It would not shock me at all if he wanted to get moved. You know, it's funny. We talked to Tommy Baffey, and they said that the coach and that the team would keep Barzal over Trotz. Well, they might need to make that decision sooner than you think.
Yeah, I tell you. But Barzal has not played well tonight, but he does look frustrated. He's looked frustrated the last few games. We've talked about it.
Look at his face. I look at his face, and I can tell because all his emotions are right on his face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I tell you. It's
the only thing that could make this worse is if John Tavares scores.
Oh, dude, you want to talk about icing on a shit cake? If John Tavares scores, my God, it'd be like a hemorrhoid popping out on a shit cake. It'd be awful. My goodness gracious, John Tavares scoring like that. Oof. Not good. But
look at the Dano Chara rushing the puck up the ice.
Baby, he's taking in the offensive zone all on his own. Let's go. A really, really tough wrister.
But see, now he's totally out of his. There's interference.
That was interference. That was bigger interference than what was
Bailey. That was interference on Bailey for certain.
But I mean, like, I think they gave a penalty to us because they wanted us to establish some momentum.
Yeah, but my whole thing is they shouldn't call any of those. I hate them.
I agree.
But if that other one was a penalty, well, so was that one. I hate those little. All right, the guy stood in front of your way. I mean, if it's not blatant, you let it go. But
Doug R wants to know how many players are calling their agents to tell them they don't want to. They want to stay away from the island. No one.
I don't think anyone who puts the puck in the net wants to play for us. No one. Why do you think Travis Zajac wanted to be back?
Here, by the way, is Kiefer Bellows. He's back out here on the ice.
All right,
He's on there on the ice, taking a shift here with Zach Parise, and back out there with that third line.
Oh, maybe because he's pissed off that Barzal's been playing shitty.
He turned over the puck. I mean, Barzal has not looked good tonight.
Actually, I thought.
Holy shit, man! Oh man! I tell you, I know Mayfield just gets walked around, and it's not like okay, this is this. I mean, look who's walking around him, Grump. It's like every single player on this Toronto team. No one can skate. They're quick, and they could walk around every defenseman on the Islanders team.
I thought you were going to say that Kiefer Bellows was on the ice. He had one of those shovels, like how they shovel up the loose ice. and dump it in the net during, timeouts. I thought that's what you were going to say.
Oh man, I should have. I missed the opportunity. I apologize, but I mean, look, Jesus, look at that. That was Pierre Engvall.
And I know
Doug
Doug is relatively new to this podcast, but I've said this before. If you're a free agent, why would you want to come to the island? And people are saying, well, because, you have a chance to win. No, I think that players want to maximize their ability. They don't want to subjugate their game. And here's the thing, we're not winning.
Three things players want.
Money.
Okay, and in no particular order. These are three things that all players want, and this determines whether they're going to go here or not. They all want money. That's plain as it gets. They want to be able to compete for a Stanley Cup in some capacity, and they want to make sure their family and home life is not going to be interrupted too much. So again, I think that sometimes this can be a big section for certain players. Like you talk about Travis Hamonic, right? I need to be on the West Coast, need to be closer to family. For some people, it doesn't really matter very much. Like, hey, the family can move wherever they want. It's not a big deal. We follow dad wherever he goes. Money is always a big, important factor in playing for a cup.
Yeah, and they want to be on a winner, and they want to maximize their skill set. That's what they want to do. If you're a goal scorer, why would you come to Long Island? Why would you play for the Islanders?
I think that actually falls in the money category. If you're a goal scorer and your job is to create offensive opportunities, I don't play much defense. It's not the best part of my game, and I'm going to go to a coach that's going to force me to play defense, play a full 200-foot game where I'm going to have to be worried more about defensive responsibilities instead of creating offense, and it's going to hurt my goal production. Well, that's going to hurt me in sponsorship deals. That's going to hurt me in the next contract. There's no way in hell they're saying yes, sign me up for that. So I think that falls in the money category.
No, I don't think so. So.
Game should be 1-1. Yeah, for certain. Boys, just tuning in. What I missed, Jared Ben. Not much, buddy. Not much.
Dobson.
Oh,
where was Mrazek?
He was all the way out of the net, but we almost had an opportunity. And again, that was, I think, if that was a slap pass, perhaps to Zach Parise trying to redirect that in front of the net. But I'll be interested to see where that one went. An opportunity for certain. Oh, I'll tell you. Get rid of him before he's not worth something. I tell you, Grumpy. Yikes. Ooh, the ice surface here is just what the hell's the camera doing? Oh, good gracious.
We look like we're on a power play right now. It's at some point in time, you might want to just continue or just try to put a puck on net here.
Yeah, well, we do look like we're on a power. Good. We need to get some sustained zone pressure. I think Toronto has dialed it back and said, beat us. We're going to force you guys to play out of your style. We're going to force you to try to be more offensive. And they're going to say, you know what? We have speed. We can counter strike you guys. Oh, here's an opportunity. Oh, my goodness. Oh, it was Pelech with the opportunity. But hold on.
Penalty.
We're going to the power play, guys.
Hook.
The Islanders going to have a power play with 12 minutes and 5 seconds remaining. And that's Zach Parise drawing the penalty, I believe.
He's playing an awful lot.
He's played well today. I have no problem with the play. He's played really well today. The effort's been there. Oh, Pelech. He did put an opportunity. He did put a shot towards him. But, oh, hold on. Did Parise grab his stick and fall down with it in front of the net? Let's see. No, I'm not sure. No, it wasn't on Parise, I don't think. Maybe it was. I'm not sure. What the hell is the call? Hooking? Maybe it's a hook on Cizikas. I don't know. I didn't really see much of a hook.
It doesn't matter. It's good news for us, hopefully.
Yeah, I'll tell you. But we've got to score on this power play. We've got 12 minutes left remaining in the game. Yeah, we've got to score on the power play. We're down 2 goals right now.
I mean, we're playing better this period. I mean, I don't know. You come out lackadaisical for 2 periods. That's on coaching, isn't it? You come out flat every game.
Achilles just died, and I feel like that really would have motivated this team. You look at when it's, that looks like a borderline trip. You look at when big events happen like that, usually a team comes out motivated and they say, you know what I mean? Like he's a legend on this team. We want to put forth a hell of an effort out here on the ice to honor him and to pay homage to what a true Islander was and a true power forward embodied, what the Islanders never say die was back in the 1980s. So you figure they would be zipping, Dan. Their adrenaline should be pumping at a different level. And we saw that at time periods. It looked like a playoff caliber-esque type game, but we just haven't had it. Right.
Okay. I just want to say something about Salo real quick before he's off the ice. He got bumped once, he got bumped twice, and he just stops and throws his hands up in the air. Dude, you're going to have to play through that in the NHL. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's a minute left remaining here in play, and we're just popping all the comments up here on screen. But we're going to have to podcast here afterwards. There's a lot to talk about, and I mean a lot to talk about. But I tell you, it's 11 minutes left to play. A minute left on the power play. Islanders have to score. They got to strike. For certain they do, Grumpy. You're right. Oh, I thought you froze there for a second, Grump.
Nope, not at all. I'm listening to you. I'm watching the game. Matt Barzal back on the ice. I don't know why they're playing two guys down low.
Anders Lee down low, trying to get his little faded backhanded, to the toy department type of shot off, but it was unable to. I tell you, they're pressuring.
Nice play by Dobson, keeping the Toronto guy off of him, using his body there. Nice job.
Yeah, absolutely, Grumpy.
See, that's where Matty gets in trouble, when he starts pulling up at the blue line. And they get that little, they think they can't go back outside the zone. And he's not the only one guilty of it. Most players are. They're like, oh, my gosh, I don't want to do this. And that's Jarnak's on the power play. Okay, that's good.
Well, a power play goes by. The Islanders do not score, unable to capitalize once again. You look at the power play. Holy shit, Varlamov. I mean, doesn't hurt us, but unable to play that one off the funny bounce off the boards. You got 10 minutes left of ice, 10 minutes left of time on the ice. Again, we talked about these barometer tests for the Islanders. We said, okay, it's a big test against the Washington Capitals last week. We lost 2-0. Big test against the Toronto Maple Leafs. We're playing the backup goalie, and we're down right now 3-1.
Yeah. Like I said, for me, those are the games that, if you're looking to make the playoffs, it's not about beating the team. You should beat the lesser teams, but how do you look against the teams that are above you in the standings, the teams you're going to have to beat to actually make the playoffs? And so far, we've kind of underperformed in those games so far.
Grumpy, Brett from NetThreads says, great shirts and designs. Oh, well, let's go Islanders. Yeah, Grumpy, he's talking number one. Brett actually has Islanders merchandise you got to check out at NetThreads. But we have merchandise here. You can find it in the link in the description below. I've got my Grumpy's Groupie shirt on and the Grumpy's Groupies van on the back. Grumpy has the Barry in the Vets shirt.
I thought it was just perfect to wear today.
I was about to say it is perfect. And again, you can find there's a whole bunch of shirts, Maddie and the Jags. There's a whole bunch of shirt designs out there in the link in the description below on the merchandise store too, if you ever wanted to check it out. But I'll tell you, the way we're playing right now, we look so content of slowly migrating the puck in the offensive zone. You would think this game is a tied game, but we're down by 2 goals. Oh my gosh!
It's like, yeah, you know what?
Crowd's
really hoping we'd win. Oh, the crowd is booing. Okay, well, interesting. I was really hoping that Barry, just looking at his face, he's like, man, we needed to win this game. I got all my old guys in. Varley's in net. I've managed to get rid of Wallstrom. I effectively neutered Bellows. Back to playing my guys. I don't have to listen to shit from the Islanders Never Say Die podcast. And then, everything went to pot.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, goodness gracious. I tell you.
That's right. We are the lions of the cartel. That's us. He's 100% right.
Yeah, I tell you. And we'll blast through these comments here too, so we can at least get it live
because we've got a healthy scratch. What?
Yeah, for what? I'm just tuning in. What the F? Yeah, I tell you.
He wants to show him who's boss.
What's up, Frank G? How are you? Oh man. Des Barzal wearing number 13 because of Datsuk. Yes, I do believe that's the reason he's worn that jersey number.
I didn't know that.
Yep, he tries. I mean, like the Magic Man, Pavel Datsuk for certain.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Potato skins, by the way. Yeah, but Grumpy, I got a comment here from Dave F saying Barzal looks really pissed, and I think it's at Trotz. I can't see him signing an extension if Trotz is still here.
See, that's
the good question. That's a good thought.
See, that's. For me, like you heard it here first, I've been saying it for a while. If he does not sign a long-term extension this offseason, just goes for 1 year, you have to move him. And if that means blowing up the team, then you blow it up. Because if he doesn't want to stay here past next year, you can't go through another Tavares situation. Just cannot have that happen. Move him for whatever you can get. Load up on draft picks. Dump all the rest of the shit that litters this roster, honestly. Even if it's the pennies on the dollar, start over. If Barry Trotz cost you Matt Barzal, you get rid of every veteran on the team and say, screw you, Barry. You're just going to play young guys or you're just gone.
I just wish he wouldn't be such a black and white character when it comes to his integration on certain ideology. And that's, I mean, like you have to have, like, I'm just looking for a healthy median, right? I'm not like, here's the thing. We play a boring style. And when you lose games and you play a boring style, nobody watches because they're upset because it's not a fun product to watch. You can grit through it and grind your teeth if you're winning games. I just want something where it's somewhere in the middle, right? I want us to, I want us to be the funnest team to watch in the NHL. I want us to win games and I want us to look kind of fun while we do it. Is that
Funnest
too
is
much
not
to
a,
ask for? The most fun, Grumpy.
yeah, funnest is not a word. Okay.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
most
sorry.
fun.
I low
But it was a
vocabulary.
nice job by Dobson there, escaping DeVaris and another Toronto player. But you know what? The fact that he has to carry the puck out, you look at the difference between Toronto and us. Someone has to carry the puck out for us, usually Dobson, where they're able to make 2 passes, 3 passes, and all of a sudden they're out of the zone. That's I just think that's a system thing. I mean, it's a problem.
Oh, an extra was like an intro, Grumpy. Oh,
Oh,
gotcha. It's like, okay, gotcha. So that's
gotcha.
the exit intro. Gotcha. I tell you, at least we're trying to put the puck on net a bit. Toronto has said, yeah, we're going to sit completely back in our own zone and we're going to play a defensive style. So the Islanders are going to rack up some shots, but they're hoping they could play the collapsing style and prevent the Islanders from scoring. They have abandoned any other type of offensive aspirations here this game. They feel comfortable that a 2-goal lead will win them today's in this evening's game.
Yep. Nice hustle by Parise. Parise's had a good game. Let's give him credit.
Parise has had a good game. He's, I mean, like, again, he's had a good game, no doubt about it. So many players on this team just are not playing well. They struggle. And it's not just like, hey, it's a struggle for 1 or 2 games. It's been a struggle all season long. And that's when I think it's more of a trend than an actual struggle, like
Yes,
an
it's a trend.
isolated incident.
It's a trend.
Man, holy shit, man. Matthews is special. Like you see, like, and again, I'm not like a huge, like, hey, I'm an Austin Matthews guy, but I'm just saying when you see spectacular play on the ice, look at this dude. Jesus Christ.
Okay.
He's stick handling right in between everybody, Grump. Fantastic, Matthews.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, he's a good stick handler, but he's not great. They make us look bad because they have talent. I mean, that's just they're talented.
We got lucky. We didn't get called with a hooking there. Mayfield gets his stick kind of wrapped up
See,
there in the Toronto forward.
This should be a showcase game for Mayfield to possibly get traded to Toronto for a first round pick. This should be a showcase game for him.
He's going to be first plus.
Well, I don't know. But you have to be inclined to move him. At some point in time, you have to say, this is not going to work long term. Everyone's going to be a year older. Our average team age is going to be well over 30 next year. You have to start cutting bait with these guys. Start moving guys at the deadline. Just start the transition now.
Yeah, I tell you, it's you have to look to do something different. I will say, and we've said this since the beginning, you cannot take the approach of this season's a lost season. We don't make the playoffs. Shit hits the rail. When we start playing tougher competition, we start going 50-50 and, our playoff aspirations dissipate. Like fog on a cool morning. You have got to, and I'm talking about you've got to restructure because the current team is not good enough to win as it is constituted.
When's trade deadline? I don't know when it is. I'm gonna have to look that up because you have to make it. Oh my gosh, you have to make a determination before then if you're going to be sellers or
March 21st.
March. Okay, so they still have some
March
time.
22nd. Oh yeah, March 21st. I'm sorry.
Okay, so it's still 2 months away. But you have to, you should be laying some groundwork. Hey, we're not going to make the playoffs. Let's put some feelers out around the league. They should do that.
I agree. They should. I mean, we've got 5 minutes left right now, and Toronto has it hemmed up in our own zone. We can't seem to be able to clear the puck. My God.
I mean, this has been a good period for us.
And think about it. Toronto's just laid back and said, we want to play more defensive minded. We're going to keep 3 guys back, 2 forwards forechecking, and we're going to keep, the center, and we're going to keep 2 defensemen back at all times. We don't want to be caught between, look at this. Jesus Christ. Like even when they had 2 guys in the offensive zone, they still almost get off.
It's like there's no one there to receive a pass. No one there to receive a pass. It's like,
oh my shit. God. My God, he's making Anders Lee look like a fool. That's a defenseman too, Grump.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Like I said, at some point in time, you just have to look at it and say, you know what? They're more talented than we are.
They are more talented than we are.
I mean, that's why they're better. They're more talented. I mean, I'm not saying they out hustle us or they work harder. They're just more skilled. And that's why you need skill. That's why you need talent. Talent wins. Coaching can get you so far, but to win games, players win games, not coaches, period.
Road Gamer, we hate that we're right on these things too. He's like, I hate that these grumpy guys are right. WTF, Bella's gone. I hate that we're right on that too, because it's things that drive us nuts. It's what makes us grumpy. As simple as that. And I'll be honest, he had a stick all over Barzal's hands. And again, usually that's called as some sort of slash or hook. Matt Barzal doesn't get the call.
Well, he doesn't get those calls anymore because 2 years ago he started embellishing all the damn time. And we called that first. I said he's going to have to watch his step because eventually they're going to stop giving those penalties, and they have. Because Bill Barber, that punk from the Flyers, he was such a diver. If you ever get a chance to pull up any of his stuff and look at it, TJ, eventually they just stopped calling penalties on him, even ones that were. Because, I mean, he was like, he get touched and he's like, woo! I mean, he's like, the arms are going forward. Looks like he's going into a pool doing like a 2.5 gainer.
Yeah. Road Gamer, no, Wallstrom's out of the lineup here tonight, but Bellows is playing limited ice time. I mean, he's going to have to play with 10.5 minutes, maybe 11 minutes on ice before the end of the game. He's going to play the second least amount of minutes on the ice. Only Matt Martin will play less minutes than him, just how it will be.
Very true.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's something else. Oh, my goodness. Coaches in a fog at the moment.
But you think about it, the two incredibly weak goals that Varlamov gave up were right in this game otherwise.
Yep, and that's what I was saying, right? That's why personnel decisions, I think, holy shit, they almost had a breakaway opportunity. Good job by Pelech. Okay,
because they're pinching up.
I know.
They have to engage the defense and try to get anything going offensively. So it's going to lead to something coming back the other way.
It's going to lead to odd man chances going the other way for certain. Absolutely. Yeah, I'll tell you. Ooh. 2 minutes and 52 seconds left. I'm not in the stadium. I'm not in the arena, but I can imagine there's booze all over the place. Fans are not happy. Again, we talked about these barometer games. Every barometer game against good teams we don't win against. That's frustrating. That's frustrating. Fans who pay attention to watch the team every single night notice that shit. They do. Yep. Fans that casually pop in once every I watch on Saturdays, they don't see that type of stuff. They say, "Oh, the Islanders have been playing well lately."
Oh, look, we're 7-1-1 in our last 9. We're playing great. This game is a one-off. No, because when we play any teams that are good, we just get dominated. We were dominated tonight.
Yep. Oh my
Maybe
God.
not on the scoreboard or shots-wise, but
Islanders pull the goalie. Yikes.
Yeah, well, 2 minutes to go.
Yeah. Guess nothing.
Chara, put him out there. Let's see if we can get him a goal before the end of the year. Get him a contract extension.
JG, I don't know. We'll have to find somebody else who does hats because the hats were embroidered and I didn't like the way they looked. It looked a poor quality, the ones that this company that we work with.
If we do hats, there's another logo we have to use.
Yeah, we got to do something different. But yeah, we'll look into the hats, but I just know that it's the people we use at the moment who do a good job on the shirts.
I mean, none of these shots are getting through. That's
what I said. Toronto said committed to, hey, we're going to play the collapsing style, stack 5 guys in front of our goalie. We're up by 2 goals and play a solid defensive system. We don't think that they're offensively talented enough, to win individual battles and create space when we collapse in front of the net, and we are not. So, yeah, we need positive vibes the last 8 minutes. Let's go. I'm sorry. It's tough. I mean, here's the thing, Road Gamer. The positive vibes are
there are no positive vibes.
Yeah, I was trying to find something real quick, but I should have probably thought of something before I introduced that. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I tell you. Yeah, Barzal saying
I 100% agree with what Ariel is saying there, but he seems disinterested right now. He just does.
Yeah. Ivan D says painful people. Yeah,
and we'll talk about that. Ariel, if you pose that question again in the post-game show, we'll discuss that at greater detail.
Yeah. And Ivan D also saying, what the hell are you talking about here? Fungi. I mean, fun guy. Oh, Ariel C said, I wonder at what point of the season fans start to throw jerseys on the ice because a team that wants the playoffs, they don't show much interest game after game.
I don't think we're not showing. I just think that we've gotten old. And here's the thing. Here's why I like Ariel. She asks very pointed questions, not just F trots. screw the grumpy old man. TJ
Grumpy
sucks.
doesn't know shit. TJ's bald and can't read. Yeah, it doesn't bother us when people say stuff like that. You know nothing. You're a senile old man. You can't. It's water off a duck's back.
She actually asks questions though, which I enjoy.
I enjoy asking questions. I enjoy when people take little stabs. Here's the thing. I know nobody needs malice by it. I know nobody's like, TJ, I hope you become handicapped and become crippled the rest of your life. I know nobody's saying stuff like that in me mouth. So none of this stuff bothers me. It's all like water off a duck's back. Same thing with you, Grumpy, I assume.
I don't care.
I'm about to say, but we're continuing. Come back, Islanders. Great Clark. Come on, says Frank G. Yeah. Let's see if we can at least get one goal here before the end.
That's where Matty B was looking to pass. He wound up taking the shot, and he caught Mrazek off guard a little bit, but he needs to be thinking shot all the way there.
Mm-hmm. 54 seconds remaining, down 3-1 to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Looked like we were dominated for the majority of today's game. Unfortunate.
Give Toronto credit.
Toronto played a good game. Toronto played really well.
This is how they played the first game as well. They've improved in certain aspects of their game where they look at us like we look at the lesser teams in the league, like the Arizonas, the Buffaloes, the Devils, where, we just handle them because we're better. That's what I feel like Toronto's been. And they haven't been that in the past.
Ooh, a nice wrister from the point. Oh, we almost have a chance to squeak one in. But just no cigar. Peter Mrazek makes a good save.
Last 19 seconds, TJ.
Yeah, last 19 seconds. Positive vibes are gone. JG says, thanks. I'm just not a t-shirt guy. Mr. B says, if it wasn't for this podcast, I'd probably shut things down for the year. I may change my name back until the fall. Oh, Mr. B. Hey, Mr. B, here's the thing. And this is what it is, right? As we're watching this, right? I will always watch the Islanders when they're bad or good. I've done it when they've been good. I've done it when they've been bad. So, it just, this at least should get you past the item of, hey, thinking that everybody will tell you that the reason the team didn't make the playoffs, well, in reality, it's just a fluke. No worries, guys. That's as we become further and further out of the playoff picture, that is what you're going to start seeing. Well, the reason we didn't make the playoffs is because the league set it up us to fail because we had 13 games on the road to start the season, and we had bad COVID before they established a more structured COVID system. So we unfortunately lost games there.
We lost 3 games.
We just couldn't catch anything. We couldn't catch a break, and it just was a bad year for us. But if we regroup and put the same thing back out there, we're going to win, and that's the thing that's going to drive us nuts. Be aware that is what you're going to start seeing propagated by the media cartel in the matter of
every other team,
month and a half, 2 months from now.
Every other team has had COVID issues, and they're still having COVID issues. They're having breaks in their schedule. It's just it's not like we're the only team this has happened to. Yeah. Lou Lamoriello got his wish when they canceled games for us. He got his wish. Didn't work out the way he wanted to, but he got his wish. So when you get that wish, what does it mean for the rest of the season? You got to play more games in a condensed amount of time. That's not good for us either.
Butch Goring said the Islanders just don't shoot enough. Yeah, we've been talking, and against the good teams, they only ended up with 26 shots on net tonight. They were down in the third.
They had a lot of shots in at the end.
10 shots in the third period. And again, that's 13 shots. Hold on a second. They had 26 shots the entire game. They had 13 shots in the period. We had 13 shots in the first 2 periods.
When the game was decided in those first 2 periods.
I want to get back to this one. Azaria P said, when doesn't Sorokin become the number 1 starter? Varlamov is a clear number 2 so far as a play. Why doesn't Barry treat him as if he's better? Sorokin should have played tonight, even if he played yesterday. Yep. And that's again, player personnel decisions that leave me scratching my head.
Because he likes veterans over younger players, period.
Yeah,
he trusts Varlamov. He loves the veterans. Barry's a guy all about the vets. Barry and the vets.
Yep. And then Anthony R., I think this is right. At the end of the day, Lou and Trotz may have brought the team back respect and stability, which they did. They accomplished the initial goal of being here. But when they leave, they'll bring this organization down worse than before. No good youngster and Barzal will leave.
Well, remember, the youngsters are under contract until they're 27 or whatever, 26, 27 years old. So, they can't do anything before then. But why would you want to stay? If I'm Matt Barzal, why would I want to stay?
And Deidre C says here, that late goal that Varlamov led in at the end of the first period changed the entire outlook of the game.
True.
And then he's saying he's putting on the Green Bay game. Don't go anywhere, guys. We're about to come back here with the Islanders podcast where we kind of
take a little break, Little bathroom
5-10
break.
minute break. Yeah, I'm tired of the COVID excuse. Yep. So we're gonna be jumping back on. We'll be number one ending this pod. No, first off, if you're new to the podcast, welcome. We invite you back. We invite you to subscribe. We go live every single Wednesday and Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and cover any Islander game that is not on a Thursday and Sunday. So what we're going to do this evening, because the Islanders game now is over, we are going to be taking about a 5-minute break, and we'll be right back on. And then you will see us talking about the entirety of this week in a more formal setting, talking about items that and answering more question-based discussions. But the only reason we do not go live on Thursdays and on Sundays, Grumpy Old Man, is because we have another podcast called TJ and the Grumpy Old Man. It's a podcast, a general sports podcast, where we talk everything sports and have a good time, and we shoot the shit. You could find that in the link in the description below, or you can find that as a featured channel there, as another channel on YouTube. That's where you'll be able to find it. But I'll be back in about 5 or 10 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back, and be able to get out some anger, some venting if you guys have it. We'll be able to talk about the player personnel decisions that are just mystifying, because I didn't want to go ahead and just bury the hell out of it during the live stream, because I knew that's what we were going to be talking about this evening. So you're not alone with your thought process. Don't think because, hey, why am I the only person thinking this? No, you're not. You're here with us. We're all here in this together. We see the same way you guys do. But Grumpy, before we wrap things up, what do you have to say on the live stream here of the live game coverage?
I just want love and laughter to everyone who listens, and even those who don't, from TJ and the Grumpy Old Man.
And thank you everybody for tuning in. Number one, again, we'll be back here in 5 minutes. We'll see you guys in about 5 or 10.